Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Alrighty, welcome back. Hope you guys had a fabulous lunch. I know I did, but it did not involve any pickles, which it's a bit of a letdown, but I only have myself to blame based on how many I consumed the previous couple days. But we're back. I wanted to just bring it back just a little bit to give some updates. I know we have a different crowd sometimes that comes in the afternoons than we get in the mornings, so I want to give some updates for them because we have some cool things coming up this month and soon in the near future. We've got some updates about some FOIA requests we have in for both Florida and California. Had a good conversation with my good buddy down there at the DeSantis' offices. So we got that today. That was fun. And we wanted to just pop into a little bit of a random court across the country. And I chose randomly, and I chose Kansas. Because nothing ever pops out of Kansas. So we want to take a little walk over there digitally, and we'll follow that here shortly. I did work on a couple other things that are in the works, but not quite ready to go yet. Let's do a quick check as far as who's online with us here, and it looks like Adam says, "Hey." Vixen says, "Not it." I saw the number of people actually waiting in the waiting room for this live stream was climbing. I think it was almost in the double digits before anyone ventured to say anything in chat. So either you are have wised up, or I don't know. Sharon says, "Not the first here." Good afternoon, addicts. Yeah. So Adam, you are first in chat, and I can see from your comment here that you know what happens as a result of that. You have won the internet for the rest of the day, probably till about 9 a.m. tomorrow is what I anticipate. Your duties they'll expire about then, where we will re-gift it to somebody else. But until then, you have not only owned the internet, but you've renamed yourself as Emperor of the Internet. So Emperor of the Internet, which is a title, not just empty, not an empty title. It has real responsibilities and powers. So congratulations, Emperor Adam, on that. Vixen, Sharon, Maui Gal, I made it. Tough life watching these whales be born. Holy cow. That sounds like so interesting. Maui, that is amazing. I love the water too. So I'm jealous. It's just that you're by the ocean. Kathy says, "Yay, not it." Good morning, Jared from Australia. Why do I sound a little funny right now? I feel like I've got like a sound filter on that I shouldn't have, but oh well, it is what it is. Maybe just quiet. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. Just in my headset. Let's see. Adam says, "My second act is to establish a position to take all the blame if anything goes wrong." That's actually, that was your position already. That's why we elect you or gift it to you. Denise is here. Kathy, the seek command should work now, hopefully. Yep, it's working now. For some reason, the commands do not work until I start the live stream, until I come onto the chat. I guess that I have to be here officially live streaming. So the commands work as soon as the music starts. Give me about 10 seconds after it starts. That's really when it engages. I will say though, I think it was, now I can't remember the name. It might have been Golden Mom that reached out to me and just said, "Just a heads up, there's somebody out there who's replying to all our comments on your videos, and they're telling us to contact them on a Telegram number, and they're using your picture. And their name is not Recovery Addict." And I checked, and sure enough, there's somebody out there who is pretending to be me and trying to scam you guys. It is a scam. If it doesn't say Recovery Addict next to their name, even if they have my picture, it is not me. I would never ask you to use Telegram, which is a a app on your phone for contacting. It's like a texting type app. It's commonly used in scams. So if you do see that, I would just ask that you go ahead and just report that, and then send me a little note on the burner phone so I can do it as well. I can at least delete the images or delete the comments. It's actually hard to get them actually banned after the fact, but I can complain about it to YouTube, and maybe they'll do something about it. So I'm back. Weather Watch is here. Woohoo! Jen says, "Yay, you're back on." I am. We've got Tucson on as well. Good to have you there on the front row. Michelle. Greg says, any magnet fishers in the house? One needed in Clarkston, Washington. Greg, what did you lose? What did you lose up there? I'm curious. Are you thinking maybe you're looking for a discarded knife? I'm not sure. Linda Hill is here. Hi, good to have you. Kathy, we got smart. Yes, we did. Sunny Florida mom, my dog loves to chase squirrels. That sound might make him crazy. Squirrel! Yep. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hey, Liz. Hey, Ann. Mac, you said something, but you retracted it. It's all right. We see you here. I see that scam a lot. So annoying, and clearly some boneheads with too much time. Ritz, my concern is that I wanted to address it when I saw it. I don't know if everyone who watches the channel is familiar with these scams. I hate, do we have permission to scam bait them? I hate scammers. I hate that they prey on people and on their generosity. They prey on their, in some case, their naivety. They don't know that it's a scam, and that they're trusting, and they end up taking people's money. And I don't want that to be associated with this channel in any way. So if I could shut them down some way, I will. Golden Girl, thank you for being here. Hello, good to have you. I've got a mangy coyote here. Anyone have a home remedy for ear pressure? There's something about like garlic in the ear that I think was a home remedy. Greg Neely says, yep, it's for a knife. Is it a specific knife like a K-bar or something else? Asking for a friend. Lunch was Doritos and pickled onions. Hey, that is a fantastic lunch, Mac. That sounds delicious. And my chat has stopped updating. There it went. Okay. I think, do we have the audio the way it needs to be? Give me just 1 second to check that. I'm not sure if it's working. I mean, I think you can hear me. I know that much, but okay, we're good. Enter full screen there. All right, so we're going to pop right over into court, which is in session, and I put some information in the description. I guess actually I want to give you some updates first, because court's going to go on, but I'll give you the updates first because that's what was in the message. But I called Florida. I called Governor DeSantis's office and spoke with Katie down there. We've spoken before. She's great. She's sort of responsible for a lot of the FOIA requests. She was able to confirm that, yes, they have my request. Yes, it is in the stack. And she said, you would not believe how many requests we've had recently. I'm like, oh, I believe it. I've made several of them. But she verified that she does have my request. She's giving me the verification number for that, and it's in the works. But she could not give me any sort of date or promise as to when it would happen. I verified the information on it was right and all that. So we're hoping we've got our fingers crossed that we quickly rise to the top of the stack and get processed soon, and then hopefully we'll have something really awesome to share. The other request on the other side of the country, out of California, I've made a request with the California Highway Patrol, and they are actually really, really good at communicating with me. They send emails. They actually call me on the phone. I've got like my own little agent that tracks my request for me, and he works for me. Like he's not like the wall you're trying to break through to get the information. He's like on my side and he fights for me. He's like, here's what you can do. Here's how we can move forward. This is how we can make this faster. Anyway, so he let's see, I might pull it up here. Let's see. He says, Justin down there says, on the 29th of December, the California Highway Patrol says, we received your request for records on December 19th. They did. The Public Records Unit is determining whether you seek copies of disclosable public records in the department's possession. Accordingly, the PRU is extending its 10-day response time frame by an additional 14 days as authorized by the government it cites the code. And they're allowed to do that. So they have 10 days initially, but then they have another 14 if they exercise this clause, which they have. So that means that on the 29th of December, we have 14 days from then to for them to respond. So I'm not super good at math, but we're getting close. Like this week, okay? This week we should have something out of California, which will be fun. Alexis says, "Do we have permission to scam bait them?" Yes, if you know what you're doing, Alexis, please do that nicely, in a nice way. We're nice people, but it's frustrating when they do that. And if you see somebody interacting with the scammers on the chat, feel free to jump in and just let them know that this is a scam and just bring it to my attention on the burner phone. We'll try to clean those up as quick as they come in. Let's see, it is Happy Taco Tuesday, y'all. Taco Tuesday. I wish I had some restaurants that participated in Taco Tuesday, but for some reason, this part of North Carolina does not recognize that international holiday, which it should be, of Taco Tuesday. Maybe I just haven't found the right restaurant. Air pressure home remedy, drive from Lewiston to Moscow, 1,000-foot elevation increase. Yeah, if that won't burst your eardrum with an earache, I don't know what will. That is no fun, though. That is no fun. Ouch. Let's see. Did they receive Sarah Boone's latest letter? Are you talking about the governor? They could not tell me. They could not tell me if they had the letter. All they could tell me is that they have the request. They know what it is. That I am in the works, and that there are some other people ahead of me for other requests, for everything, because this is all right around the time that he was getting sworn in and everything. So there's a lot of things happening with the governor's office that news media is interested in, other than just Sarah Boone. So we've got a lot of things up ahead of us that we're hoping to get out of the way quickly. Sharon says, "Who else is ready for summer? Barbecues and drinks in the garden." Yes, please. Yo, what's up, Recovery Addict? I finally got an afternoon live stream, always on the go. Yes, we did that today. We don't have a ton. We're gonna pop into this court, which is happening live in Kansas, I might add. So I don't know what's going to happen. They said that they've got a lot of things on the docket today, so it might be a little bit. We might stay with them for a while. If it gets bored, we might leave. It's out of Kansas, though. Are you putting the comments on the screen? Yes. Man, thank you, Kathy. I was putting all the comments on the screen, but I had the screen turned off. I fixed it now. Thank you so much for the correction. When is the next case we'll follow? I don't want to miss, if so, hoping no appointments that day. Carol, there's going to be a lot of little cases and a couple big ones. The bigger ones are towards the end of the month. We're talking the Alex Murdaugh case out of South Carolina, where he's charged with killing his wife and son, along with 76 other, financial white-collar crimes. He's got a lot of things that he has to answer for. But we've got that one. We have Sarah Boone, of course, Ritz, Real World Problems, Sarah Boone. We have her coming up first in 1 week, really. In 1 week, we'll have the pretrial hearing, which hopefully, fingers crossed, her lawyer is not going to come up with another reason to be let off the case, and everything's going to move forward, because that's going to happen on, oh no. Anyway, Sarah Boone's going to happen on the 30th. That's the case for there. So we've got a lot happening towards the end of the month. Matthew Harris says, Recovery Addict, believe it or not, Taco Tuesday is trademarked. Companies can't advertise Taco Tuesday without getting a cease and desist or a lawsuit. So maybe I already have ventured into that territory. My question is, who trademarked it? Is it from the from the Lego movie or something? I don't know who's got that trademark. Is it Taco Time? I'd be interested to know who I need to pay my licensing fees to. But it's almost Super Bowl time, and then Valentine's Day. Lots of that going on. Hey, everyone, we do have some court starting right around Valentine's Day as well for some different cases. So we can say Taco Tuesday morning. Yes, we can add something to it, right? Wyoming-based Taco John's owns the trademark to Taco Tuesday. Can we just do Tuesday tacos or something? Does that work? I'm just all about getting a little bit of spicy food on a Tuesday. That's what I want. Hey, y'all, says T-Rox. Just want to say thanks again for being so welcoming. Thank you, T-Rox, for being here. Appreciate you. Let's see. Good afternoon, Jado. Alexis, who are we predicting for the Super Bowl? Who is playing, Alexis? That shows a little bit of ignorance on my part. But who is playing? Let me bring up this other.
Related to the jury instructions.
Oh no, not that one. That was the old one. We want this guy right over here. Okay, so courts
State
versus
versus Austin Korzinski, 22 CR 495. Mr. Korzinski, your attorney, Brenda Jordan, is present in the courtroom. Status of this case, Ms. Jordan.
Your Honor, the status of the case is that it's fairly new. I need to ask the court to give us time to get the discovery from the state. We requested it. I don't have it. I'm going to ask for the 21st at 1, as well as a motion on bond hearing on the 24th at 1.
Okay.
All right, we're going to continue his case for status to February 21, 2023 at
The
1
audio's
p.m.
messed up.
Do it by Zoom.
The judge has a mic right in front of him,
And,
and the other people are
motion on
talking into their
bond.
phones, so it's weird.
Okay, bond motion.
It's just a
We're
docket.
gonna
Some of
set
these are
that for
just
January 24th,
bumping it out like this guy.
2023 at 1 p.m. also by Zoom.
The playoffs just
All
started, so we
right, will
don't
you
know
be here
yet.
in person
Okay.
then, Miss Jordan, or do you know? Well, we'll worry about it then.
I'll be here. I'll be one or the other.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Jordan will get her motion on file regarding your bond, Mr. Korzinski, and we'll hear that on January 24th. The regular status hearing on your case is set for February 21. Anything else for him, Ms. Jordan? That's all for today, Mr. Korzinski. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So man in yellow should be
Let's see, Mr. Bryant, do you have a comment?
should be leaving.
Whoa.
There he goes.
Behind me.
Okay, and his name?
Anthony Wilson, state of Kansas, birth Anthony Wilson, 22 CR 195.
Anthony Wilson's up. We can do Taco Tuesday as
All
much
right,
as we
status
want.
of
We
the
just can't
case,
advertise
Mr.
Taco
Bryant.
Tuesday in commerce to sell tacos or make money.
All right, and Mr. Blackburn, perhaps you can tell me how long you want.
Did the judge just walk out of a hurricane? More of a tornado because this is out of Kansas. Oh, look, we had the previous guy was on yellow. Now we've got stripes. Let's see who this is. Late but handsome, says Gordon.
What was this client's name again?
Wilson.
Wilson, okay. How much time, Mr. Blackburn?
1 hour.
1 hour prelim, Barb.
That's what we call it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Lots of talk going on here. I don't want to talk over too much of it.
Whose
Just want to hear
case is
what's
this,
happening.
Mr. Blackburn? Oh, all right.
Was it 31st off to January 31st?
I don't know. Trial.
Okay.
Mark Jensen trial is supposed to be again tomorrow. Have they already done jury selection on that one?
We could do February.
That's the Antifreeze trial, right?
11.
Works.
Works for the defense.
I think Mark Jensen's the Antifreeze trial. And it had some pretrial just yesterday or something, I thought. But that will be a fun one to watch in the meantime, as long as we get a feed on that.
Mr. Wilson, your preliminary hearing is now scheduled for February 21st, 2023 at 11 o'clock. 1 hour is allotted, and it's right back here in this room in front of me. That's an in-person hearing, so you'll have to be here in person on time so we can have the hearing.
I'm going to shrink me down just because I'm taking up too much
Thank you,
room.
Mr. Wilson. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Okay, Jailer, who do you, let's see, Miss Iverson? How many cases do you have, Miss Iverson?
I'm nice and small. Look at
that. You're muted, Miss Iverson. Maybe you can get your mic off of mute.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Sims 22 CR 436 and Crenshaw 22 CR 160. I don't know if either of those individuals are in the courtroom.
No. Yes, one of them is. And okay, get up there, Mr. I think this is Mr. This is Mr. Edward Crenshaw.
We just started, Myra.
State versus Edward Crenshaw, Miss Iverson, 22 CR 160. The other person is on Zoom, and I've just let them in.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's hear what this one's
Mr.
about.
Crenshaw's case, Miss Iverson.
Your Honor, I have received discovery. Unfortunately, I still have not received a callback from my client, so I'm inclined to go ahead and set it for preliminary hearing. I also reached out to Mr. Blackburn, as I believe he is the assigned prosecutor, and haven't heard back from him. So I think at this juncture, let's just set it for prelim.
Is this your case, Mr. Blackburn?
It is, Judge.
Okay, it is his case, Miss Iverson.
Okay.
Let's see. And how long does the state want for
forward.
this prelim, Mr. Blackburn?
So they're just slotting times for
1
this.
hour? Okay.
So
The
they're gonna
state's
take
asking
1
for
hour.
a
They'll
1
put it
hour
on the
prelim, Miss
calendar.
Iverson. So let's go ahead and get a setting, Barb.
Okay, we can do January 31st in the morning.
January 31st in the morning is open.
Let's see. So Golden Girl,
I'm
Antifreeze
available.
case. I'm going to turn down the sound just a little bit on the video as they're just doing some pretty, it's like
Where's your
paperwork.
office out of, Miss Iverson?
It's background work.
I'm in Council Grove, but it's about
Okay.
40 minutes.
The Antifreeze
Not
case,
bad.
All right.
the Golden Girl was talking about, that should start tomorrow. Mark
We had
Jensen.
the whole morning
This is a retrial. This is a case where he is accused of killing his wife with antifreeze.
Yeah, let's say 10 o'clock.
The interesting thing about this is he's already been convicted of killing his wife with antifreeze. So this is on appeal. He has a new trial. The first trial, they granted the appeal because he said it's not fair that my wife's letter that she wrote and gave to a friend that said, if anything happens to me, I'm, look at my husband. He's the one who did it. He says it's not fair that her letter can testify against me in court and I can't cross-examine her. So that's a witness I can't cross-examine. And the appeals court said, you're right. The letter's not allowed. They shouldn't do that. So in the new trial, the letter is not allowed and he gets to be tried again without that key piece of evidence. So the first trial took I think it was 10 years to go to trial. It was a long time. Hello, Lane. Anyway, it'll be a fun one to follow. Good afternoon. Welcome. We're just looking a little bit at what's happening here with the...
Your attorney is that young lady right there, Ashley Iverson. Could you give me your phone number, Miss Iverson? I'm putting it on this written reminder for him so he'll have it.
Yeah,
Sure, my office number is 6...
Yeah, we're not going to share her phone number right now. Let's see. Where would we be without extreme criminals? Just twiddling thumbs, waiting for the weather. Occasionally, we get some extreme criminals that pop up on these little tiny courts around the country. These happen. Videos like this are happening all over the country right now. I could pull up half a dozen of them from just different courtrooms. And sometimes there's good stuff, and sometimes there isn't.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't have a phone, Miss Iverson. Can you give me an email address?
Sure, it's Ashley, ASHLEY.
I'm not going to share her email address either.
At Iverson, IVERSON, Law Office.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
-ks.com.
She has a huge long email address.
Iverson Law Office, ks.com.
-ks.com.
You have an email like that if you don't want anyone to ever send you email, because no one will get through typing the whole thing.
Hyphen. What was that after the hyphen?
ks.com.
Okay. Let's see. Scheduling hearing to schedule another hearing. Yes, it's frustrating, but it's the process they have. Notice these days that a lot of judges are addressed as judge rather than your honor. Why is that? Personal preference, maybe.
Preliminary hearing.
We're just getting sloppy. The color of jail uniform indicates level, says Sonny. So which is worse as far as level? Are we talking like the level of the floor level they're on, or the level of security they're under? So is stripes less or more than orange? That's what I'm asking. Sonny, I'd love to have input on that.
You have to be here in person and on time.
Another high court decision making it easier for criminals to get away with murder. Which decision was that? This is the second time YouTube has told me you were streaming after I was already in a half hour later. Man, YouTube is slow sometimes. My OCD kicks in every time I see those striped jail uniforms, says Gordon. They are never lined up straight. They are sewn by probably other inmates, is my guess. Let's see if we have anything happening here.
I'm sorry, what?
Was there a couple two different numbers?
That's fine.
No,
There's plenty. Is it Mr. Sims?
Yes, Your Honor. He's via Zoom. I believe he's in Georgia.
Mr. Sims, you need to try to start your video. Hold on, sir.
We have to be able to swear him in and see him raise his hand. Let's see if we get him on the video here.
Yes, sir.
There we go. There's Mr. Sims.
Oh, there he is. Okay, Mr. Sims.
Yeah, from a car. Hopefully not driving.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and I can hear you too. Miss Iverson, we're going to do Mr. Sims' case. He got his video going. State
Local
versus
shopkeeper
Correndous
says,
Sims.
docs the number. She's nice. I
436.
can't do that.
The defendant appears via Zoom, as does his attorney, Miss Iverson. Status of this case, Miss Iverson.
Yes, Your Honor, I have received discovery and I've spoken with Mr. Sims, albeit very briefly. I do know Mr. Griffin is the prosecutor assigned with it, so I'm inclined to just also set it for prelim so then I can actually meet with Mr. Sims in person because, again, it's kind of hard catching him. But I'll defer to the state on their thoughts as I'm still working with Mr. Griffin.
So he's in Georgia right now?
I guess, do you want to go ahead and set it for prelim, Mr. Blackburn? Keep it moving.
At least the email.
That's fine, you say? Okay. How much time for this one, sir? All they're asking for is a 1 hour prelim, Miss Iverson. So, okay.
Alexis is voting for Jerry Springer instead of random courts.
Date?
Well, yeah, we had.
I think it's 2 staged.
We could do 9 or 11.
Let's see. Daryl Brooks should do a day in the life at Dodge Correctional with a camera crew following him around. His caseload must be insane.
Well, he's involved. Mr. Griffin's involved in.
I was listening to a little video. Actually, there's a woman that gets arrested in court, and I think Mike the lawyer was talking about it, or I think it was Mike the lawyer, but this case, the lady just goes off. She's like, somebody was telling me that this is what should happen and everything. He's like, I don't know who you've been talking to, but they have no idea the situation.
In Gary County.
She's probably thinking about changing her email now. No, that's her professional email.
February 14th.
The lawyers regularly share their phone number and professional
I'm available
email.
Either time.
They have to share it with the court, and the court gives it out publicly on a regular basis. Let's see.
Maybe we could do 10 o'clock, just given the travel involved.
Okay. She's
Thank
requesting.
This is the zillionth time YouTube did not tell me anything about RA's live stream. Dallas, I am sorry. I'm glad you're here, though. Good to have you.
1 o'clock on with the senior judge.
Larry Millette prelim starts tomorrow, 2 to 3 weeks.
Are you available in the afternoon, Miss Iverson?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's going to fall right on top of Sarah Boone and Murdoch.
We'll set this one for February 14th at 1 p.m.
Depends on state guidelines.
And that's with the MO2
for the color
courtroom.
of the uniforms.
All right, Mr. Sims, you still hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're setting your preliminary hearing, Mr. Sims, for February 14th, 2023, starting at 1 p.m., and it's in the senior judge courtroom, which is courtroom number 110. You come into the courthouse there on the east side.
You better be there.
Stay on that level, go all the way to the west end, which is the opposite end. It's room number 110. That'll start at 1 o'clock on February 14th. And I don't know who the judge will be. It'll be a senior judge.
Lindsay, we're just listening into the courts in Kansas out of Riley County.
Sims.
Yes, I'm putting it in my notes.
This is live.
That's fine.
So viewer discretion advised.
February 14, 2023 at 1 o'clock, room 110. Now, Mr. Sims, do you have your attorney's phone number?
He's gone.
Hello, Mr. Sims.
He hung up.
Yes, I'm
there
here.
he is.
Do you have your attorney's name and phone number?
Yes.
And the phone number again, Miss Iverson, was
Here's your chance. Here's your chance.
767-6825.
Is that what you have?
I would only call her if you
Mr.
need her
Sims?
professional help.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Okay, it's 620.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I can only do it so much.
825.
Okay.
767-6825.
Jado says, recovery addict. I was speaking of the case.
Yes, I have it.
That has to be tried again because the wife's suspicion that he was going to kill her. Okay, so that was. Let me go back to see your comment. Let's see what that was. Another high court decision making it easier for criminals to get away with murder. Yes, it seems bizarre that that sort of evidence would not be allowed in to testify against him.
No, Your Honor.
You're free to leave as well. Thank you for your
patience. Sister Iverson's out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, indeed. And corrections officer, who do you have?
Ashley's gone.
Jail?
This is Kyle Prine.
Okay.
These might be arraignments.
Versus Kyle Prine, 22 CR 405.
Don't think they're arraignments.
And that involves Lucas Renz, and he's not here. Fiddlesticks. I'm gonna try and call their number.
The lawyer didn't show up.
Their number.
Judge, this is always bad when the judge has to call you from the courtroom to ask where you are. Matthew, has that ever happened to you? Lawyers are busy, but sometimes, with things that happen.
776-9288.
I'm crying with you. Looks like RA has forgot about us. How did I forget about you? Oh, we get to hear on speakerphone. We get to hear the call with the hot mic. This is awesome. I love hot mics.
I shouldn't be so impatient.
Pauline, how did I forget you?
Well, how can I help you?
Yes, this is Judge Malcolm calling. Do you know where Lucas Renz is? He has a case here on my docket, and the person is in jail, and he's not here.
Yeah, he was in South County this morning for court. I'm assuming he's
Stuck over
back
there.
from that right now.
All right. Well, hold on, sir. Bear with me.
I'm gonna also.
What?
I can tell him. I'll send him a text real quick.
Well, he can't get on Zoom on the phone on the road, I don't think.
Oh, sure he can.
Well, I'm just gonna let it. I'm just gonna see if he's coming back.
He might have a chauffeur or something.
Find out how far away he is, because I don't want to drag this on forever. His client is Mr. Kyle Prine. That's right. And he is in
has it on
jail.
his calendar, so assuming he.
Well, he's 45 minutes late already. Look, sir, look at his calendar for next Tuesday at 1.
All right. Next Tuesday at 1.
Yeah.
He's free as right now.
All right.
If you could zoom from the car,
Mr. Prine,
just have the chauffeur
I
drive.
think this happened to us last time on your case. We're going to continue your case for 1 week. Just 1 week for status to January 17th, 2023 at 1 p.m. And we'll do that by Zoom.
So this happened
Mr.
before?
Renz can either be here in person or by Zoom as well, receptionist. Okay?
He needs to know from his mother.
Sounds good.
January 17th, 2023.
I haven't been answering your question.
Please make sure the judge
I'm sorry,
expects
Pauline.
you
Let
to
me
be
find
on
it.
time.
Let me find it. I'm scrolling.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Bye.
See, you say I
All
forgot
right,
about
Mr. Prime.
you.
Sorry I couldn't do anything more for you, but 1 week that's as quick as I can get it back on my docket.
That's all right. I know I met with them Thursday and we signed papers and stuff to have it done. And I don't know why he ain't here.
None of us know why he isn't here.
The person answering the phone there at the office said he had to be in court in Pottawatomie County, and he's evidently coming back from that. But I'm not gonna.
Okay, Pauline, I'm gonna need you to type it again. What's your question that I'm ignoring?
We'll see you next week.
Okay, understandable.
Thank you, Mr. Prime. Next person up.
Cole looks like he's watching a movie. Which one's Cole?
I'm sorry, what's the name?
In the blue shirt. McMullen is in the orange.
Charles McMullen.
Okay, thank you. I heard that time.
That jail
State
inmate
versus Charles
took that
McMullen,
pretty well.
22 CR.
He's like, oh, it's cool. We'll just delay everything for a week. I have nowhere to go.
Case, Mr. Hopper?
Yes, Your Honor. As set for status, my understanding is that the state has some new discovery and they may be filing an additional charge.
Jim Bob, we
I
need to
haven't
talk.
picked that up yet. I just got the email yesterday. There's also been some plea negotiations, and we're awaiting a counteroffer, I believe. But we were waiting to see if this new charge was going to get filed. So I think we need to set this out for another status
Okay, so
we can
Pauline,
see what's
what is the
involved
question?
with the new discovery. I'm going to ask for about a month.
All right. Does February 14th work for you, Mr. Hopper?
I don't want to ignore you, Pauline. I want to answer it, whatever it is. I just can't find it.
Yep, I'm already before the court.
Okay. Mr. McMullen and all concerned, we're continuing Mr. McMullen's case to
No, you won't
February
be lost.
14th,
Bite me. You won't be lost.
2023 at 1 p.m. for status, and we'll do it again by Zoom.
I see all the comments.
Anything else
I
for
just
Mr.
can't find your
McMullen,
question.
Mr. Hopper?
Not today.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McMullen. That's all for today, sir.
Oh, Bite Me says, okay, one more time. Good afternoon. I've been ignored all day, crying. Bite Me, don't cry. I thought I got you on this morning.
We got all the jail cases done, corrections officer.
I have one more, sir.
Okay.
Hey, look at that, Adam. The address command worked.
Aaron Noonan.
Who? Newman?
Noonan.
It needs spaces.
Does anybody have Damian
I'll have to fix
Robert Janders, Leaf Forster?
In fact, I'll do that here while
Benjamin
we're
Brooks.
talking here.
Well, Phil has Benjamin Brooks.
I have Forster.
We'll let those two in. How come Miss Jordan left?
You just needed a return to our office.
More guys in
Gotcha.
stripes. Okay,
Your Honor, this is Richard Beckman. If Mr. Noonan, if that is him, I was just appointed to his case yesterday.
Oh, goodness. Is this Mr. Noonan that you have there, corrections officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, State versus Aaron Noonan, and Mr. Beckman appears via Zoom, as does Mr. Noonan. You want to continue this case for status, Mr. Beckman?
Yes, Your Honor. I just filed a motion for discovery a little bit ago. I'd like to have, exactly, that's what we need to do.
All right, does February 14th work for you, Mr. Beckman?
Adam, if only Adam will try the address command one more time. Let's see if that will fix it. And let me catch up on chat here.
It does not. I'm in Nest City on a series of cases.
Okay, that's all right. How about the next week, February 21?
I can do that.
All right, Mr. Noonan and all concerned, we're continuing his
MB,
case
we are watching
21,
just a random court.
Status at 1 p.m.
This is the docket out of Kansas. It's Riley County, Kansas.
You're aware, Mr. Beckman, that if you want to have something heard on your client's bond, you have to file a written motion.
Yes,
Okay, that address looks a little bit better. Thank you, Adam. I think that'll work.
Get to see him next week or the week after.
All right.
Is this squishy?
Wait a minute. Don't log off, Mr. Beckman.
No.
This was Mr. Yao's case. He indicated that there was a
I don't know who Squishy is. I don't know who that is.
Based on Mr. Noonan's prior failure to appear, he was in the Dickinson County Jail at the time.
Is that a written request?
I'm not sure. This is just what Mr. Yao gave me. I believe that based on how it's written, I believe that it was filed either contemporaneous with his motion to withdraw, or the request was made to set it on today's date for that request, based on, again, that he was held in the Dickinson County Jail at his last failure to appear.
You want to take that up, Mr. Blackburn?
Always on go. We're going to do the regular time because the Koberger case starts at 8 o'clock Idaho time, which I believe is actually Pacific. I think they have 2 time zones in Idaho, and they're all the way on the west side. So I think it's Pacific. We'll have to verify that. But either way, starting at 9 o'clock on Thursday for Koberger's court, and we'll just stay live right through that.
His motion to withdraw a request to have his bond reinstated due to the fact that he was in custody in another county and could not be present.
Looking at the e-file.
And I don't have a problem taking that up next Tuesday.
Don't feel bad about not seeing comments. Sometimes people are having a bad day and will try to make you feel like it's the worst thing ever. No, I try to read all the comments, especially if you flag me. AJ. AJ, no.
Yeah, that would be fine by me.
Everyone's mad at me. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Bite Me says I've been ignored all day. Bite Me said good afternoon. I apologize. Lil Miss would have been if she'd had notification from Recovery Addicts. Hey, Lil Miss, I will say, let me just scroll up, Little Miss. Let me see if I still got this on the screen. Oh no, it's gone. No. Lil Miss, I actually reached out to Vixen and I said, hey Vixen, can you put something in Discord for me?
Okay. Mr. Yao should be back in his office
because I can't put a notification. I have rights to put them in where the notifications normally go.
Bill Yao.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beckman. All right, that's all from Mr. Noonan. And that's the
Franco just coming in. Hacksaw and other cutting instruments containing blood found in the Walsh investigation. This is not looking good for him.
Mr. Clark, you have just one client, right?
Who's this Brenda lady who's sitting at the Supreme Court steps?
I actually have 2 cases, Judge. I have Mr. Chandera and I have Mr. Votes.
Okay, well, we have Robert Jandera. I'm going to let him in. And who was the last?
Hey, AJ. I see your comment there.
Votes.
I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah, that must be, he's going by.
Hello, JoJo, as well.
Zoom link.
Miss Chris Waves as well. I'm trying to catch up on the on all the comments so I don't forget anybody. I don't want to forget anybody.
They're coming on right now.
So Orange is
Mr.
federal.
Jandera, can you activate your microphone, get it off of mute?
Martin, are you there, Martin? Why is everybody come in from a car?
There we go.
They connect
Let's
from a car.
see, what Mr. Martin's name?
Martin Votes, Your Honor.
Mr. Votes, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
There he is.
Okay, State versus Martin Votes, 22 CR 396. Status of this case, Mr. Clark.
Bunch of
Good morning,
status
Your
hearings
Honor.
here.
I think discovery is essentially complete at this point in time. We have reviewed the bulk of it. We've not had an opportunity to discuss it fully. I'm going to ask for one last status continuance, Judge, to February 14th.
All right. That is my default date for today. Well, Mr. Votes, we're going
Why does everyone just get pushed off?
Status to February 14th, 2023 at 1
Do they need more
p.m.
time?
And we'll do that again by Zoom. Same
Catch
Zoom
up on
link
the
and
bottom
password you
here.
used today, sir.
I saw Vixen's notification, but she didn't at
All
everyone,
right,
so we
again,
had to be in the
February
right
14th,
channel on Discord to see it. You
2023 at
both
1 p.m.
failed. I'm sorry,
Need
Lil
anything
Miss.
else, any other instructions for
Sorry,
you, Mr.
we
Cole?
tried. I tried.
No, Your Honor, but
I'll
could
try harder.
counsel confirm who's handling this case for the
Maybe
state?
it's the
Is it
only place they
Bethany's?
can talk without their employer finding out. Yeah,
Yes, correct,
it's like,
Ms.
hey, I need
Fields.
to run out to the car for a minute
you.
and
you,
talk
Mr.
to my
Clark.
judge
That's
and
all for today,
lawyer.
Mr. Votes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And now, Mr. Chandera.
Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
We're gonna
sir.
Okay, state versus.
we're gonna turn them down for a minute. Matthew Harris has a clarification about the letter the wife had written saying if I'm dead, it's my husband. She says, well, that's a dying declaration and an exception to the hearsay rule. That is presuming that the person believes they are dying and they are identifying their killer. Okay, so I think in this case the letter was like, if anything happens to me, look at my husband. So she wasn't dying at the time. It's not like it was written in blood. My last words, if you find this note, it was so-and-so. Yes, they need more time, probably to go over the discovery maybe. Not a responsible attorney, says Christy. A car is private when you're at work and need to hit Zoom, just like I did for a job interview. You can't just do that from your office and say, hey, everyone quiet, I'm on a job interview. Okay, I've got a lot of people that tag me here. I'm trying to catch up here. I'll turn the sound up just a little bit. Where'd they go?
Please get your mic activated, Mr. Forster. There we are. And how do you say your first name, sir? Is it Leif?
Yeah, Leif, actually.
Leif, okay.
Norwegian,
versus
Scandinavian.
Leif Forster, 22 CR 303. Mr. Bryant, your case. Mr. Yao, Mr. Hauber.
That's my case, Your Honor.
This is the story of a lucky lawyer who had 3 clients of her own.
Your Honor, we're continuing to do some investigation in this case.
By that he means I've been playing video games in the
I actually want
background.
to set it out for a motion hearing to address the conditions of Mr. Forster's bond. We could do that on that February 14th date since I'll already be here.
Do you want to put it on for status as well at that time?
Well, that's fine.
Status and motion the same day, 14th.
We'll continue the case for status and motion hearing.
Hey, Tiffany. Good afternoon. Good to have you here. Williamsburg is beautiful. Williamsburg, Virginia, right? Or somewhere else. It's beautiful. Been a while since I've been there. Not since a kid. Yeah, the Panhandle is nice. Oh, that's Florida.
No, I'll get it on file.
Greater St. Augustine area.
Right, so the state has enough time to be prepared.
Leif there looks like the guy that plays Watson in Sherlock.
Not today.
Little resemblance.
Mr. Blackburn wants to say
something. Old Squishy Gardner. No, this is Old Squishy does pull from this court sometimes when it gets really funny. I didn't realize what you were talking about, Lomas. Yes, I like Old Squishy Gardner stuff.
Yeah, I just.
But this is actually live. This is happening right now in Kansas.
Prior to that.
So we don't know where this is going to go.
Thank you, Mr. Hauber. I guess that'll be it for today, Mr. Forster. Thank you.
I like when the court is held in the courtroom. Call me old-fashioned.
Yes,
he has a mix here. He's got some defendants that showed up in person. He's got some attorneys in person, and some on the phone. So he's just like multitasking, which is pretty cool for being a judge. I'm sure that wasn't how he did it years ago.
All right, Mr. Brooks, if you can activate your mic, sir.
Ooh, Mr. Brooks is in uniform.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, great. State versus
And respectful.
Benjamin Brooks, 22 CR 216. I see you stand, Mr. Bryant.
This is Mr. Yao's case. I believe Mr. Blackburn is the prosecutor on this one. We're asking to set this for another status so that Mr. Yao can be here when the waiver.
All right. And when would he be available?
Everything's
Mr.
getting pushed.
Bryant?
Yes, Moscow's Pacific. Thank you for the confirmation, AJ.
February 14th.
Thanks, Jen, as well. What case is this?
February 14th.
This is just a bunch of random cases out of Kansas. We don't give Kansas
All right,
much
Mr.
love.
Brooks, we're going to continue your case for a preliminary hearing waiver, or at least a status.
We don't give Kansas much love, so we thought we'd just pop in and see how things were going there.
And we'll do that again by Zoom.
We might
Same Zoom
we might
link and
pull up a
password
different
that
one
you
if this
used
one
today,
isn't
sir.
very exciting because there are some others
Make a note of
available.
that. February 14th.
Let's
2023, 1
see.
p.m. Same Zoom link and.
We've got
password.
Kansas. Who else is live?
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's saying something.
We could
Hold
do
on, Mr.
Jackson
Brooks.
County pre-trial. Should we try a pre-trial?
I would prefer to just have Bill do
1:30
that.
for the continued pre-trial.
This is Mr. Yao's case.
Yes.
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
Nothing else, Mr. Brooks. Zoom hearing February 14th, 1 p.m.
Okay, so
Yes,
as
sir.
everything's
Thank you,
just
Mr.
getting
Brooks. We'll
pushed
see you
off in
there, sir.
Kansas, it looks like everything gets a 1 week delay.
Free to leave the Zoom,
That's
Mr.
the MO for everyone there.
Mr. Huff, if you could activate your microphone.
Come on. We're down to the bottom. Maybe they have the good business at the end, but maybe not.
Whoa. Let's see. Can you hear me, Mr. Huff?
Yes, sir.
And you live in the state of Texas?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Have you've been in front of me at least once before, right?
I have had a first appearance, but it was over Zoom as well.
Okay, but I mean, this is the second time you've been in front of me, right? By Zoom?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you been trying to get a lawyer to hire one
Yes, sir.
here in Riley County?
Yes, sir. I went ahead and put in yesterday for to get a court-appointed one.
Oh,
but,
court appointed? Oh, okay. Hold on. I appreciate that, Mr. Huff.
Okay, so
Let's see,
nothing's
do we
going to
have
happen
his
today. He's going to get a lawyer.
Let me ask you a few questions, Mr. Huff. And
Yeah, he's going to
please raise
qualify.
your right hand if you would, sir.
So we can
Do
see
you
it.
solemnly swear or affirm that the answers you give to my questions will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you employed, Mr. Huff?
Okay. So we're gonna drop out of that one, and let me close this and see if we can pick up another case or the pre-trials out of the 14th Judicial Circuit out of Florida. Florida always has something exciting going on. Let me close this guy out. Bring this one over. Make it full screen. Let's turn on some sound here. Looks like we're good. Go live. It's been going for about, let's see here. Is it live still? I want to make sure before I take it. So it looks like it's been going for about 20 minutes here. But let's take 3.
There's going to be a 3-year.
Are we going to address subject matter
mandatory.
jurisdiction?
He does have 580
no.
days jail credit. All items forfeited, and there's a $50,000 mandatory fine. And we reviewed the plea form slowly
fine.
and carefully, Your Honor, and he has signed it, and he's in agreement.
Is this the agreement with the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And does the defense stipulate
he
to
agreed
the
on a
factual basis,
$50,000
waive the
fine.
reading of the court costs and fines?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that's it. Mr. Pelham, please raise your right hand. Sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Tell me your full name for the record.
He's an older
Douglas
gentleman.
Landon Pelham.
Sir, did you hear the announcement that your attorney just made?
I did.
Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything different?
No, ma'am.
Is anyone threatening you in order for you to enter into this plea?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I have in front of me a 2-page plea waiver and consent form. This is the first page. This is the second page. Did you sign that document right there on the second page?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have enough time to review the document before you signed it?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to talk to Mr. Sambathy?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with his advice and with his counsel?
Yes.
Mr. Pelham, do you understand that by entering into this plea, you are waiving your right to go to a trial where the state has to prove the allegations against you?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to present any defenses that you may have to these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that you're waiving your right to appeal anything except an illegal sentence?
Yes.
Yes? Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes.
Mr. Pelham, do you understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States, by entering into this plea, you could subject yourself to deportation proceedings?
Yes.
All right.
He's
Mr.
probably a
Pelham, I
citizen.
find that your plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered into after the advice of counsel and that there is a stipulated factual basis for purposes of the plea. I will now proceed to sentencing unless I hear otherwise from either the state or the defense. Mr. Pelham, in case number 21 CF 347, I accept your plea of no contest to 1 first-degree felony count of trafficking, 1 first-degree misdemeanor count of paraphernalia. And I said no contest because I assumed it. Is that what it is?
For the plea, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll be in Virginia
I'm going to adjudicate you to be
Thursday.
guilty of the underlying offenses, sentence you to time served on the misdemeanor. On the felony, I sentence you to serve 7 years in the State Department of Corrections with a 3-year minimum mandatory sentence because of the level of offense. I order you to pay court costs, fines, and fees, Madam Clerk, in the amount of? That's fine. $50,000. Okay, that's the mandatory fine that I'm
$50,000
required to
fine,
impose by law.
3 to 7 years in
I'm going
prison.
to
This
order
guy
that
just
you
pled
be given
guilty.
credit towards your 7 years in the amount of
for
580 days that you've already served towards this sentence. I order you to submit to a DNA sample, forfeit all items previously seized, and I will reduce all monetary obligations to a civil
MB
judgment.
says, I literally
Sir,
have
do you have
no
any
idea what is
questions
going on
for me?
here.
Do you want me to recommend that you be housed in a facility near somewhere?
Where's home?
Where's home?
Graceville.
Jackson County? All right.
Graceville.
All right. So I will recommend that you be housed in or
That's
near a
considerate.
facility near Graceville, Florida. How about that? Anything further from the state or the defense? All right. Mr. Pelham, I'm required to tell you that if you wish to appeal this court's judgment and sentence, you have 30 days within which to do so. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you for that purpose, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pelham. Please step to the side to be fingerprinted. Mr. Sambathi, does that take care of your cases?
Yes,
all right. See you later.
Okay,
All
well,
right, sir. Tell me your name.
next.
Mr. Dickens, hello. Mr. Dickens, your attorney, Mr. Scott, is on the video. He's going to turn on his video so that you can see him in just a second.
Okay, so MB,
Mr.
this
Scott,
is what's
if you
going
can
on.
hear me, Mr. Dickens
We're
is
just
here.
we're just
You
having a
may
good
be trying
time
to go
poking our
back
head
and forth
into
between
various
courtrooms.
courtrooms around the country. We were just in Kansas. Now we just
Good afternoon, Judge.
took a jump down to Florida,
Yes, ma'am.
14th
Mr.
Circuit.
Dickens, are you able to see and hear Mr. Chris Scott here on your behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. For the record, Mr. Dickens, we are here in your case number 21 CF 679.
Yes, Lindsay, this is exactly
Go ahead,
right.
Mr. Scott.
Somebody's at the Parthenon
Your Honor,
tuning in, and
Chris
the
Scott
other
on
one can't
behalf
even
of
show
Garen
up.
Dickens. Your Honor, we're here for a pretrial. Your Honor, I heard the commentary between Mr. Peacock and the court earlier about the next pretrial date. We have a tentative date of February 22nd for an additional round of depositions that has not been cleared through co-counsel just yet, but I would request the March 7th pretrial, and hopefully we can have it all wrapped up by then and go ahead and pick a trial date if that's necessary on that March 7th date.
Yeah, Brenda did her Zoom etiquette was
Any
not on par.
objection? No objection, Your Honor. All right, so Mr. Dickens, we're going to have you come back March the 7th at 1:30. In the meantime, they're scheduling more depots, okay? I'll see you then. Thank you, sir.
More depositions. He's going to sit till March, and then more trial. Let's see.
Who else do I have from the jail?
Who else from the jail? Who's out on day release?
All right. Mr. Collins is not present, and he has actually asked. Ms. Torres, come on up. Ms. Torres, we are here in your case number. You can come right there, ma'am. This is case number 22 CF 520. Ms. Torres, your attorney has asked that I continue this pretrial, okay? And because of the age of your case, I'm okay with continuing this pretrial. And he's asked that I continue it to the April pretrial. What says the state? You good with that? Is the one that Debbie talked to you about? All right, so the
Continue
April
till
4th
April.
at
It just gets
1:30
pushed
will
off.
be your continued court date, Ms. Torres, okay? But in the meantime, Mr. Collins will be out to see you. Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Trying to, you guys got some hilarious
Is
comments
anyone
here.
covering for Middleton? Debbie, help me out. Yeah.
I talked to Mr. Middleton.
All right, hold on. Talk in here so that Debbie can.
I talked to Mr. Middleton, called me. He said he's running just a little late. He's coming over from, I think, Gulf County. So he said he will be here. That's all I know.
Who is at the jail?
Serena Hunt.
Information I received, Judge.
Serena Hunt is at the jail.
Debbie apparently is also at the jail.
Here.
Can
you just take
have to
her
write a
back
note
to the
about who
jail
my
if you
killer
don't
is, and
mind?
it's my husband. I'm out of here. Just a
You
thought.
want me to talk to her real quick? I don't want.
I don't know.
to
That may have been
sitting
Steven
here
Tyler.
waiting.
It looks sort of like him.
And yeah,
I'm way
that's
behind
fine.
on the
Bring
chat.
her out, and I'll tell her what's going on and why I'm going to send her back. Ms. Hunt, hello. Come on up.
Greg, if you ever need the burner phone, just put exclamation point
Ms. Hunt,
burner
we're
in
here
chat,
two
and
of
it will
your
respond
cases,
with that
case
number.
numbers 21 CF 338 and 22 CF 399. Okay, Ms. Hunt. We'll talk more when
Louisiana
Mr.
could be a
Middleton is
hoot,
here.
too.
I don't want to talk to you outside of the presence of your attorney.
Right, 'cause
okay?
that would be bad.
But he's not here yet, and he's running late. And I want you to go back to the jail, and I'll see you over the video because I don't want my jail staff to have to stay after hours waiting on Mr. Middleton. Okay. So we're going to take you back to the jail.
She's
and
going to have
we're
words for
call you up
Mr. Middleton.
by video. Okay. Okay. We'll talk to you
8
then.
more
and we'll
appearances,
talk
you get a free
about
coffee.
Your other attorney wanting to appear and all those.
Yeah, the woman in the bottom right back there
All right,
was
see you then.
from Kansas, was very busy.
I don't know. Ask. Does anyone else go into the jail, guys? Are you guys sending anyone to prison?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
We're sending everybody.
If there's a prison plea, let's go ahead and talk about it, so that the jail can transport.
Cook County, Chicago next.
Sir, how
are they
you?
live?
Come on up. Tell me the name.
This is Stevie Eric Gammons.
Mr. Gammons, hello.
How you doing?
Mr. Gammons, we are hearing your case numbers 20 CF 512, 20 CF 513, 21 CF 03, 20
Courtroom
CF
100,
511.
Courtroom 200.
Go ahead, counsel.
Yes, Judge, at this time, with Mr. Gammons withdraw his previous entered plea of not guilty to all cases and enter a plea of no contest. In the 20 CF 511 and the 20 CF 512, those are as charged to sale of cocaine. The 20 CF 513 is just to the second count of sale of cocaine. The first count is consolidated into.
I do see Cook County is live right now.
21 CF 3. Count
a lot
one
of people
is being
there. They can't tell what's
reduced to,
happening. Do you want to
sale
pop
of cocaine, and
in
count
there
2 is
instead?
as charged possession of marijuana with intent to sell. So there are no trafficking.
Look at the guy right above my head.
The agreement this
He's like huge compared to his little dwarf lawyer.
511, 512, and 513 to be sentenced to a year and a day in DOC.
What is no contest? Matthew, do you want to answer this one? A no contest plea?
To the DOC sentence.
It's not a guilty and it's not a
cases
not guilty.
11, 25, 12, 25, 13 all run
it's basically saying I'm not going to argue against it.
3CF would run
we have enough. My understanding is you're giving your consent, basically saying that we believe that the state has enough evidence for a conviction, but I'm not going to fight it. I think that's my understanding.
Costs, the $20 monthly cost of supervision in the DNA sample as well. Okay. Have a plea acknowledgement of rights.
She cranks it right through. This judge is pretty efficient.
Have signed.
Don't have mismatched stripes with this court. Not yet. Mostly white. Looks like.
I have reviewed with my client and the motion to consolidate from the state.
Louisiana has parole hearings. I'm looking at Cook County right now, but if I pop it up, you're going to hear the audio there as well.
Departure. We'd be asking that this be accepted as a legitimate uncoerced plea bargain. I'm not aware of any exculpatory DNA evidence. And
always on the go. Here we go. As we've got, we'll jump. We've gone from Kansas, we've gone to Florida, and now on your recommendation, we're going to go up to Cook County, to Courtroom 102. If that works, give me just 1 second to make if it'll work here. Come on. Oh yeah, it's still going. Okay, give me just a second to make the switch off camera. Otherwise, you guys will get whiplash. Pull this one up. Got to figure out a better way to do this quicker, but we'll get there. Okay. Oh, we've got a lot of people here. You're gonna like this one already. I can see it. Okay. Let's pull this up here and turn on some audio for this.
Have them there in person on that day, Judge.
Well, he doesn't have to be in person as long as he's.
Okay, as long as he zooms in, then.
He can just zoom in. That's right.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Okay, perfect. He's doing well, Judge. And I'm staying on top of him, so hopefully this should be. We'll keep moving positive in the right direction.
Jojo has a great question here. I'm going to turn down the mics here just a little bit.
Thank you, everybody. Nice to see you, Judge. Thank you, Katie.
All right, good to see you.
Have a good one, Cam.
Have a good day.
It's awesome to see everybody on Zoom. This guy likes Zoom meetings.
Let's do Emmanuel Garcia Hernandez next, Judge.
Emmanuel Garcia Hernandez is up. Jojo says, how do you know if the area you live in has live courtrooms? You can search for it. First, I'd go to the court website and look for live stream. And then you can also go to YouTube and search the county and the state and look at court live streams to just see if something pulls up. But you can also call the court. Oftentimes they're doing this for the benefit of people who want to watch, for the public, and so they'll also tell you about it. So those are all good ways to do it. And last possible way is you can ask us to search, and we'll say yes or no if we're able to find it.
For Mr. Garcia Hernandez, He is now employed, which is great news.
Yay, Hernandez.
Harlan just
got
needs
a job.
paper copy of his check stub. So Harlan's requesting a 2-week date to get those employment documents.
All right, so that sounds pretty good, Mr. Strauss.
Well, do we need to purify? I'd like to know, Ms. O'Malley, if he would get those, the check stub in, can we waive the next date? If we don't, then appear because
I think that's a reasonable expectation. If they're provided, he can be waived, in my opinion. And if he doesn't provide them, then he should appear.
Okay, and could I be waived also if we got it? And so, assuming Mr. Garcia, do you think you can get those in within 2 weeks?
Yeah.
No problem. Did you? Was that yes?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, do we want to pick a further date, a 2-week date, and if he gets them in, we'll disregard it, and then a next date? Does that make sense?
Yes. So how about 124?
So he has to show his pay stubs to show that he got a job.
If I'll get the progress report a little bit before court, so I can send it over to you. But obviously,
Hey, bite me. I don't know.
Mr.
I don't know if I've heard the
Garcia
Walton and Johnson Florida man spots, but I've heard quite a few Florida man spots, and most of them are really funny.
So, Ms. O'Malley, is there a phone number I can reach you at, or
Lindsay, we've now jumped up to Illinois. We are in.
Okay.
Let's see if I can.
Do you need my email?
Cook County, Illinois.
I think I have yours. I'm gonna send you mine.
It's like an auction for prison time, sort of.
And then
that's
I
how it
can
works.
try and check
Rich is
with
like,
you
yes,
just to
my
make
Chicago.
sure.
This is home sweet home.
All right. Well, keep up the good work. It's very
okay. And then, Judge, my last question is: then, do we need to schedule another date at all? Then, all right.
The appearance will be waived on next court date, which is January 24th.
The judge is trying very hard not to infect his Zoom with whatever virus he has.
Well,
but it sounds like he's talking into a pillow.
Next date because he gets it in. Neither myself or Mr. Garcia. So, should we pick a date now? Then, does that make sense, Miss O'Malley? Right.
I typically will wait until the next court
Good to
date
have
to
you
pick
here.
another date just to see, if there's any changes or anything like that and go from there.
From the western side of the
we can be in
state.
touch by email about the
Okay,
next court date.
I don't necessarily have to come in, me or Mr. Garcia, as long as we get the proof of employment.
New stream
and
title.
then we'll pick a new
Courtroom
date
Whiplash.
by email.
I'm going to edit it right now.
Sounds terrific, Miss O'Malley, Your Honor, and Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you.
Thank you.
I figure if they can do it in the Idaho case with the Zoom,
okay.
we can do it on our live stream.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Keep up the good work. Very good.
Okay.
It's awesome. Okay, and I've renamed it,
Bye.
Katrina, just for you. It's called Courtroom Whiplash.
Let's do Jonathan Porter next, Judge.
All right, Jonathan Porter.
Lots of people.
Morning, Your Honor, or good afternoon. I always do that. Good morning.
Good morning. I just got up.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today? Judge Chris Saragelis, that's Syregelas on behalf of Mr. Porter.
I don't know. Generally, the mask is for in person issues. Maybe he has court clerks around him that he doesn't want to
is here. Miss O'Malley's here.
to infect.
See the participants. Is that you, Mr. Porter?
Yes, I'm here.
Good afternoon, participants.
He's here on his iPad.
Judge, we have a positive update for Mr. Porter.
Go Porter.
He has new employment and he's going to provide verification once it's available. He's almost done with his CBI sessions and is working on completing his community engagement by the 20th. So Harlan is just requesting that 2-week date to verify employment. So we can do the same thing for Mr. Porter. If he provides the documents, then we can waive appearances.
I think it's disrespectful
if they're
to wear
not
the hat
provided, then
on Zoom
obviously,
with the judge there.
we would request that
That's
he
just
both be
me.
present.
Sounds perfect.
Okay, so we'll go by agreement, January 24th, 2020.
Paris is backlit there in the bottom of the video there.
Documentation. It sounds like you're doing an outstanding job. Keep up the good work and congratulations on employment.
Good job, Porter.
All right.
Next time, take your hat off.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day. Thank you, Katie.
Do the same.
Have a good one.
Who's next?
Let's do Daniel Arreguin next, Judge.
Lindsay says, AJ, he can't see you. You have to wave your arms.
It's Arreguin.
Okay, Arreguin. The case is 22-400-639-701. And we have Miss O'Malley in court. I see the participant. Good afternoon.
MB, I can see this happening. Everyone just looking at it. Hey, Judge. Hey, how are you doing? Not bad.
Hi, Your Honor. Good afternoon. For the record, Marcos Reyes, and we have Mr. Arreguin.
Hey, Marcos. Attorney's in the house.
Judge, we do have a positive report for Mr. Arreguin.
3 positives in a row. This is good. Chicago is on the up and up.
Training on 12/5, and he's starting his CBI sessions. So, Judge, I am just going to, Mr. Reyes, we haven't done the seat agreement yet, right? I don't have it in my file here.
No, so yeah, we had it, but we gotta submit it, I guess. So
hey,
you
Greg,
have a copy.
Do it again without the space.
Yes, I believe we do. Yes,
no space in the command.
If you send it
Greg.
over to me, do you have my email address?
You know what? I'll put my email address. Send it to me again, just in case.
Okay.
Here, I'll put my email address right here.
Yeah, the guy with the too much hair is now behind me. I'm going to move out of the way here. I'll do that again.
And then why don't we come back in 4 weeks? Is 2/7 work, and we can get the seat agreement
no,
entered?
I'm just moving all over the map. Let's see what space isn't taken right there. I can move in right here, so we don't miss Paris.
February 7th. Okay.
And now it says I'm Trent.
February 7th, 2023. That's for status. Very good job. Very positive report, Mr. Arreguin. So keep up the good work. And congratulations.
I like it when people turn their lives around. Something maybe they get found guilty of something. The court stipulates that they need to do certain things, and they do it.
Mr. Duarte Lopez, right?
I'm not sure what Corey Evans is doing.
We could call that one next.
Are we looking
That's
at somebody's
a new case,
feet?
Judge.
Okay. Give me one moment to pull it up.
Going to be way down here in the corner, nice and small.
Last name is Lopez.
It's Duarte, Duarte.
Do not record
hyphen
button.
Lopez.
How about that? Now it just says zoo.
And this is its first appearance. The file's first appearance in Seed. So
Kansas, Florida, Illinois. Only 47 more states to go. Where's the next one you want to go to? If you guys know one that's funny, we will. Ginger says Cook County is my birthplace. Do you recognize anybody there? Please tell me Corey isn't sans closed. I don't know. I'm not sure if he knew the camera was on.
Can you spell the last name again, please, so we can write it down?
Yes, it's DUARTE
R.A., aka Trent, do.
hyphen Lopez.
I did nothing. That's not me. Trent's gonna have to turn on his camera here. If he's in Zoom, the judge is gonna make him turn the camera on.
224-005-08201.
I could go to Morgan. I think Morgan's phone is set up, and he or she is gonna pop back up there when the case pops up.
All right, can we do it? As the clerk is looking up, can we do a case in the meantime?
Sure. Let's do Paris Doss next.
Hey, Paris.
This is another new case, Judge. Hopefully it comes up
He's on trial for bad lighting with the camera.
Not this one, Doss. The case number is 22-111-499-001.
Oh, look at the finger. Did you see Attorney Rick Fulbert? You had the mile
Your
long
Honor,
finger.
this is Attorney Daniel Hinich. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Doss, asking leave to file my appearance. This is his first appearance.
Attorney Hinich.
Your Honor, I think something is bleeding over on another.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. Now just putting your name on the record. So Attorney Hinich, we have Miss O'Malley here, and then your client is here. Let's see, Mr.
Harris, if you could just unmute and say hello to the judge, please.
I see. Okay, I see you there. Participants in court. All right. So this is the first time up today?
Yes.
Yes, Judge. And Mr. Doss is eligible to participate. So I would suggest we continue his case for a 4-week date, which would be 2/7, if that works for counsel.
All right. Mr. Hinich, does that work?
He's eligible to participate in
Checking
what?
right now, Your Honor. For some reason or other, 2/7. Your Honor, is this going to be on Zoom?
Yes, it's hybrid, so it can be It could be either or.
All these attorneys
At 2 in
are
the
like,
afternoon?
can I please
Yes.
not have to show up at the
I can do
courtroom?
it that day then.
Okay, so that's, you said February, what day was that, February?
I'm
what?
helping out. I do what I can around here, Samantha.
February 7th.
All right, by agreement, February 7th, 2023.
Judge, Your Honor, if we could stop.
Mr.
Recovery
Addict,
Addict,
with the program. I hope
if you could unmute your
a lot out of
microphone.
it. Now, is he going to need to meet with Heartland?
Yes, if we can go to a breakout room, Mr. Dawson, counsel, you'll just exchange contact information with the service provider.
Okay, we'll join that breakout room shortly. You're going to send us the invite, right?
You can just go, and I think they're all available. So if you want to start in breakout room 1, if you just want to go into breakout room 1, they'll meet you. The service provider will meet you in there.
Okay.
I don't see those, counsel, how to do that. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll be right there.
Hennepin
Okay,
County.
Paris just joined. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
I'll join.
thank
I'll join.
I'll join. I'll go.
Thanks.
Hennepin County. This is Minnesota, right?
Let's, all right, for the other case that we just passed, the clerk has let me know that the computer is down, but we have the case number. Let's go ahead and I can just transcribe the notes because we already got the case number and everything. Yes. All right, so let's I'm gonna, as long as we know it's in the system, and as soon as you're able to get the sheet, we can go forward. Let's go ahead and call Mr. Durante Lopez's case, and then I'll just do the orders after the clerk pulls it up in the system. All right, what's the first name?
It's Deriah. I'm not sure what the pronunciation is.
D-E-R.
So somehow I stumbled across the 394th District Court. We'll turn her off for a minute. 394th District Court, the Court of Texas. That's the one where the cat was, where the lawyer was the cat, right? Let me see if I can, the kitten Zoom mishap. Give me just 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this one up. I'm not sure if this is originally where it occurred or if he's just copying this. 5 seconds. We're going to switch over there. Ready for the whiplash? Here we go. Pull this up and pause it. Bring it over. Okay. Just 5 seconds here. We'll have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Not good timing, right? Okay, so here we're going to go with. If you haven't seen this, this is Zoom Court gone wrong.
You have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a
trying
look.
to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Not a cat. Oh, that's good stuff. I like that one. I'm here live. I'm not a cat. Maybe that's an audio clip we need. Oh, there. I'm looking for where I'm at. I'm down here in the wrong corner. Run to A. There we go. So yeah, I'm not finding anything live out of Hennepin County right now, unless I looked for it wrong. If your lawyer's a cat, you're going to jail, says Matthew Harris. Yeah, it's funny. I'm not a cat. I quote that all the time. I saw that earlier in chat, and then when it popped up again on the search, I thought I have to play that. I just have to play that. The eyes are the best, yeah, because they do respond. You know, as you look around, it looks like you as well. The court reporter could be that silent user. The lawyer was asking if the case be held over to Zoom, and Ed Gein said it was already on Zoom. Yeah, he just wants to not appear in person. And WeatherWatch gives the explanation here about the how Zoom and YouTube work. They are connected. A lot of these courtrooms, as soon as they go live on Zoom, you can configure Zoom to live stream as soon as you go live. Like you go live on Zoom, you open that up, and it just starts on YouTube as well. And that's how a lot of these work. A lot of the courtrooms only broadcast what's happening on Zoom with during the time that they're live. So you can't. Let's see. For some reason I've got Mike the lawyer here in the background, just trying to. Let's get him there. Perfect. Okay. It's the eyeballs. The eyeballs get you every time. They're the cute eyes, like in Shrek, the cat in Shrek. Just woke my dog up cackling. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Squirrel!
What Myra says, so what could we possibly expect on the status hearing for Burger King BK on Thursday? Just your opinion. Myra, great question. First of all, we're going to get some indication of what his defense wants to do, of what direction they want to go. We may get a not guilty plea. He may plea on Thursday, and they may just do other courtroom like set preliminary schedule. Just they may try to say we want to, we're enforcing or not, we're not waiving our right to a speedy trial. So we want to set the time frame that way. But the preliminary hearing is going to be what's going to be scheduled next, just to see if there's enough evidence for this to proceed. Pickles Not Politics, formerly TW, should have been here an hour ago. I like that, TW. I'll still call you that. See, did we have enough Whiplash for today? Are you good with that, or is there something else you want to see as far as what's happening in the courts across the country? How about in Creature or in Critter? In person is a little different. My client has been a dog but never a cat. We have a 100% trial record when it comes to defending dogs in court. Jenny, we need to get this audio. I'm not sure if I want to. Squirrel. Right now, it's a button on my controller. I'm not sure if we want to get that audio synced to that because you guys would use it so much every time I get distracted. And if it is, it would be quieter. I just don't want it to distract. Bronx County, New York. Are you saying they're live right now, Ritz? Let me just take a quick peek here at Bronx County. Let's see. I'm not seeing. What court is that? Bronx. Just show me the live ones. I'm not seeing anything live out of Bronx right now. Give us squirrel, says TMB. Kelsey Taylor sent us today. Anyone know how much time she got? Jenny, great question. Let's see if I can find that for you. Kelsey. This is the Easton daycare workers charged with slamming down toddler. Engaging a 17-month-old girl. Let me check the latest. Did it just happen? I'm not seeing anything in the news right now about it. Did that one just happen? She got 25 years. Wow. Yep, you guys are on it. Several of you. And $2,817.34 restitution, $22.80 in extradition cost, credit time served, $1,391 sentence, 25 years. Suzanne, excellent work on the exact details of the sentence. Something out of New York would be great. Can't imagine what Long Island's court would be like. That's what I'm not familiar with. Are they going to live stream that? Let's see. DC Court of Appeals. I'm not seeing anything. You might have to send me a link if you've got one. Max says, little guy had a 6-shooter. Actually, Jojo, what we know in that case, the gun he had was a 9mm Taurus, which is a pretty good sized weapon. That's a lot of police will carry a 9mm or a 45, which are pretty similar. 45 is a little bit bigger. Packs a bit more of a punch, but the Taurus, the gun is a pretty good sized gun too, a 9mm. Had multiple rounds, but not a 6-shooter as far as a revolver goes. Long Island. I was writing how people say it. DMB, where did I miss? How did you say it? Is there somebody? Let's see. You might have to send me a link. I'm not seeing one live if there is one. Joan says, Recovery Addict, are there any live court cases going on in Wisconsin, specifically Milwaukee or Kenosha? Wisconsin actually has a great system. Let me pull this up and show you what they've got if you want to follow along. It's a little bit tricky. You sort of have to know what you're looking for. Give me just 1 second. Full screen. Okay. Here we go. Switch to 3. This is the Wisconsin court system. And I'll get this off the screen here. In the courtroom, I'm also going to take me off so you can see what's happening. Program. Okay, so in the courtroom here, if you look at this, I'll shrink it down just a tiny bit so I can give you the wicourts.gov, and it has a /court/livestream.htm. That's the website that we go to for this. You can go down here to live stream the courts, and it has all the circuit court hearings, the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, with each one of the, whether it's audio, whether it's video. Say if we wanted to go to, what county was it? You said Milwaukee or Kenosha. Let's look at Kenosha County, and then you have branch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, and then the commissioners. So we could start with branch 1, and we could see if anything's live. If it usually is not live, it puts you straight into the YouTube on that. You can subscribe to that and go, oh, I just shut it down. So let's try that again. Switch to 4 for a second. Where was I? That was not in Chrome, was it? I've got South Park on my screen. This is funny. Recently closed tabs. Nope. I don't know where it went. Okay, so back on the website. Let me pull it back up here. Got to see what's here. We'll go full screen again. Okay, switch to 3. Okay, so if we wanted to go, say, like Judge Doro's courtroom, we would go right here to the U through Z and go to Waukesha. I think she's in branch 2, and it would pull up whatever's happening here, and currently there's nothing playing. So there's nothing's currently streaming. But that's how easy it is to get something out of Wisconsin. They broadcast everything all the time. It's pretty cool that way. All right. So nothing out of there. Okay. Let's see. Michelle says, I'll get your text on the screen. Anything new in the Daybell case? The latest is that Lori says that she has an alibi, which is a defense that she has to prove. She has to prove an alibi. Okay, it's not like the state where they have to prove that she's guilty. When you say you have an alibi, that's something that the defense has to prove. But if it puts her somewhere else at the time of the murders, and
are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
That would be interesting indeed. But I haven't heard exactly what that alibi is. It is a hard gun to handle and shoot. That talking about the 9mm Taurus, especially for a 6-year-old. Let's see. Suzanne says the info came from Discord, and it was Vixen's work. Vixen does a fantastic job. Amber is great that way. He had the gun in his waistband like a gangster, says Bite Me. Yes, we're hearing that he brought it in the backpack, and then at some point took it from his backpack and then had it like a gangster style tucked in the waistband. Michelle says, I'm having court cats withdrawal. I think that's what you meant to say there. And spell check fixed you so that you couldn't say that. The 6-year-old had to have some reason in his mind to bring the gun. What we're hearing is he brought it for this exact purpose. This is like premeditated. This is why he brought it to school, was to shoot his teacher. Now, what that means, does that mean that maybe the teacher had done something that the family had expressed frustration with, and the 6-year-old thought this is the way to take it out on the teacher? I mean, maybe the family might have some culpability here. I don't know. But a 6-year-old just doesn't get the idea, hey, I'm going to bring a gun and shoot my teacher without some sort of reason. Little Miss says, I did the squirrel command while in the kitchen, and this is on my TV in the living room. So if it worked, I didn't hear it or see it. Little Miss, it's right here. Squirrel! It's not triggered on the command yet. I'll have to set it up to do that. It's short enough that I think we'll allow that one. He better give us squirrel. I will. I got it right before we went live. I'm going to do a little bit of tweaking on the sound because if you hear it in the background, listen carefully. Ready? Squirrel! It's like a dung sound in the background. I'm going to try to edit that out to make it just a squirrel sound. Let's see. Lori says she wasn't there when the kids were murdered. That's the latest update, but I haven't heard where she said she was. What was the actual alibi, and how can they verify that? I mean, everyone says they weren't there. It wasn't me, but what's the evidence that shows she wasn't there? Poor Lori wants to meet with Chad without being recorded. Yes, she does. They want to meet up to discuss strategy on what to do. Not sure if that's going to happen. Can we have Bugs Bunny? Man, I'm flirting with the line. Obviously, copyrighted material is something that can get me in trouble. So as long as it's not very long and it's used in a certain way, then maybe. Does a 6-year-old understand the concept of death? No, and the 6-year-old won't understand courts, which is why he will not be charged. The squirrel sound will make Tag very happy. We'll get it set up. And when we have it set up, if Tag's not here, let's keep it a secret. Don't tell her and just pretend like nothing happened, and she'll go ahead and put the command in chat and just be like, yee. She'll be all excited. It'll be great. It wasn't me. We'll get a little Shaggy in the background. From the song, let's see. We need and want more sounds we can trigger. I realize we have people on both sides of the fence here. I'm okay with having more sounds, but I don't want the whole live stream to just become a sound effect, soundboard. The Kid needs to be watched by psychologists for years. On a globe, you're right. There may be some care this kid needs in the long term. Yes, I meant to court, says Michelle. Right. Okay. I think that was the spell check corrected you. What about a good Bugs Bunny impression? I cannot, Cass. I could not do that. I couldn't do it justice. I like all sorts of Looney Tunes, but I couldn't do it. I like the sarcastic voice of the dog in Family Guy. I'm sure he has some lines that could be used. Little Miss, if you have some that you really think are good, let me know. Send it to the burner phone. And we'll see if we can use it. Let's see. Somebody who just sent me this. Courtney. For some reason, Courtney, I didn't have you saved in the machine here. I'm going to go ahead and add your contact so I know it's you when you text me. There we go. Got you saved. Courtney just sent me a picture. Is this out your window right now, Courtney? Scott, I can do really good Mickey Mouse impressions. Maybe, reviewer, you might have to call the burner phone and on the answer machine, just give a series of impressions and make sure it's nice and quiet in the background. Record it from your car, whatever you have to do. And just make sure there's a gap between the two. I might be able to chop it up and use some of your sounds on the live stream. Did I hear you right, Recovery Addict? He won't be charged. He needs some help. Jojo, I think that's what we're hearing, is the 6-year-old would not understand the court proceedings and can't be charged, although his parents might be. T-Rocks, if that kind of talk goes on at home to handle conflict or frustration, then the kid would learn that that's the way to handle their feelings, and gun not stored safely, not a leap. Right, that's where my mind goes. I'm like, if the parents were frustrated with the teacher, say there's a student conference, there were grades that came out or something, and they were frustrated and said something that the kid heard and then has access to this firearm that's not stored properly, is that what caused him to think, I'm going to go take care of this for mom type thing? I don't know. What if his parents let him shoot a gun? Carol, I know there are lots of families that do let children fire guns at a pretty young age. And I would say this, if done properly in the proper setting, I believe that gun training for children is a good thing. I let my children fire air rifles for, it's like a BB gun. We have a Red Ryder BB gun, lever action Red Ryder BB gun, and that's what my youngest shoots. I don't let him shoot my 45. I don't let him shoot. He's not even old enough to shoot a 22. But, we let him do the BB gun and teach responsibility on the way up. And as they get older, they might be able to move up to a pellet gun and then a 22 and then, from there. But always under close adult supervision. It's an auto mess up, not auto correct. I do both. Courtney says, I just saw 3 deer outside my bedroom window. Send a picture to your burner. The picture you sent it looks like a painting, first of all, because you've got some fall colors. I'm not sure where you're located that gives you those amazing colors here. Let's see if I can bring this up on the switcher. Okay, options, show and finder. Courtney just sent me this picture right here. Let's put it right there. She just sent me this picture. Let me take your words off there. That's right outside your window. Those appear to be whitetail, based on the size of the tail. Whitetail deer, so that would put you more eastern in the country than western, where we have mule deer. Kara Green says, any car chases? Not any good ones. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. It's been too long. We should have at least one a week is what I'm thinking. Courtney, that picture is amazing. Love the wildlife right outside your window. Thank you for the picture. Kara, if you have a car chase planned, please let us know and do it somewhere where there are plenty of cameras. and we'd love to follow it. Have you ever seen the Pickles character in SpongeBob SquarePants, where he always says there are no pickles on the burger? It makes me think of this pickle. I have not seen a lot of SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, I know who SpongeBob is, but I just haven't watched it a lot. KF7AIK says, just popping in during my lunch. Good to have you here, Bob. We're just having some fun. We did a little bit of Whiplash, jumping around the country to a couple different courts just to see what was happening, and nothing really interesting anyway. Bite Me says, so he knows a gun will kill if he shoots, but he doesn't understand what he did? No way. I think he knows what he did, but he wouldn't understand court proceedings. And I don't know how you could proceed with someone who doesn't understand court proceedings. How would you prosecute that? I was shooting a bow at 5. Some of us were just raised like that, but never had anything without supervision, right? I also had a recurve bow as a kid, not super young, but it was dangerous. Sharon says, how the heck does a 6-year-old get a hold of a gun in the first place? They don't, unless the parents do something wrong. That's basically how it comes. What it boils down to. Parents should be held accountable for their minor child's crimes. Sounds like a COS, a COS. Laura, what's a COS? I missed the reference there. Sure wish Sarah Boone trial was going on. DB got me through the shoulder recovery. Bella, you've got like 1 week. 1 week and we'll have some more Sarah Boone. That's when we're going to have the pretrial hearing in a week. And then Sarah Boone kicks off in full force on the 30th of the month. We played with cap guns. I did that as well. Do you remember the cap guns that had like the paper roll of caps that, the first time you ever shoot the cap gun, you load it properly and you shoot it and you go through a roll and all that's cool and everything. And then the next thing you do is you take the whole roll out and you grab a hammer and you you smash the whole roll and it explodes and your ears are ringing. They feel like they're bleeding. And you're like, wow, that was cool. I think that's where I damaged my hearing because I sure did that with a cap gun as a kid. 3 dear friends staring into your house. That's what it is. Vixen says, coming from someone who was shot 2 weeks into my third birthday, by my sister, the 6-year-old Newport News hits a little different for me. Oh my goodness, Vixen. I was shot 2 weeks into my third birthday by my sister. So you were 3 years old? Different sportsmen's clubs give gun safety courses for kids. Will his parents be liable that the gun wasn't securely locked? It depends on the laws, and I don't know. In Virginia, let me check really quickly, see if we can pull up some laws in Virginia. These would be safe storage laws. Let's see. Virginia has 18.2.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
No. 18.2-56.2, allowing access to firearms by children.
There's
Penalty.
a lawsuit.
This is Virginia law. I'm looking at law.lis.virginia.gov. It says, A, it shall be unlawful for any person to recklessly leave a loaded, unsecured firearm in such a manner as to endanger the life or limb of any child under the age of 14. Any person violating the provisions of subsection shall be guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. B, it shall be unlawful for any person knowingly to authorize a child under the age of 12 to use a firearm except when the child is under the supervision of an adult. Any person violating this subsection shall be guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. For purposes of this section, adult shall mean a parent, guardian, person standing in loco parentis to the child, or a person 21 years or over who has the permission of the parent, guardian, or someone standing in loco parentis to supervise the child in the use of a firearm. Okay, so the first part is what comes into play, which basically says that the mom could be facing a Class 1 misdemeanor. What do you think about that? A Class 1 misdemeanor in the 6-year-old case in Virginia. It doesn't seem like much of a penalty. You'll shoot your eye out. I love that movie, by the way. We do have the that same BB gun, the Red Ryder. I want a Red Ryder BB gun. I think there are websites that will repeat words in different voices for you to create clips. You just need to do a search for the free ones. Who was it that was saying they found ChatGPT? Who was it that was mentioned that? It's basically they discovered. I'm trying to remember who said that. Courtney says New Hampshire. That's where you're from. Okay, Courtney, got it. That would explain the background there. The chat AI is what you found. You found a tool that uses a computer to write as if it's a real person, even programming. Ralphie, I want a Red Ryder Santa. Ralphie says, I want a Red Ryder Santa. You should try out Love Christmas Story, 80s Music Man. It's a great. I want a leg lamp. Is what I want from that movie. If you've seen that, you know what a leg lamp is. The car wreck channels are interesting in my opinions. I love NASCAR for the same reason, for the wrecks. Mac grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Saturday mornings with Fred Kirby and the Little Rascals. You could learn all kinds of ways to get into trouble. Let's see. Daughter has trained every year with her dad with guns since she was 5, says MB. The first year was no weapons,
I don't consent to that name.
But all about gun safety. Our weapons are all locked in a handprint lock safe. Okay. That's good storage. Joan says, what case is it with a 6-year-old child? I haven't heard about it. Joan, this is right out of the news within the last week. In Virginia, there was a 6-year-old child who went to school and took his mom's 9mm handgun and took it out in class and shot his teacher. The teacher has survived. She's in the hospital recovering. And the kid was subdued by other individuals at the school. No one else was injured or hurt. I believe there was only one round that was fired. But it sort of shocked the nation with the age of the child. And the fact that it was intentional. This wasn't an accidental shooting. A lot of times you hear about a child, shooting someone else, and it's an accident. They didn't understand what the gun was, or it was loaded. But what we hear from the police is that this child brought the gun to school for the purpose of shooting his teacher, and he probably will not be charged with it because of, he's not old enough to understand the court process. I also place some degree of blame on kids and exposure to FPS games. FPS is first-person shooter. They don't understand there's no respawn once shot. Right. I'm not a big fan of those games because of that, although I have played some. But I don't like what they teach, really. Courtney says, we've got 10 acres here, mostly deer and turkey. I'm terrified of running into a moose. I would worry about like a bear. Don't you have bear up there as well if you've got deer and turkey? Did the victim live? Yes. The parents need to pay for medical and her work missed. She's a teacher. She's an amazing teacher from all accounts. And hopefully she'll make a full recovery. Bite Me remembers the cap guns. You had to have a hammer. These cap guns, they'd come with a roll. It was like a little roll of, and I'll tell you, the one thing I can already tell, Bite Me, you did this as well, is you lit them on fire. You used a match and lit or a magnifying glass, as the case may be. That way you can burn your eyes and your fingers at the same time. But you light the caps on fire. And you hit them with a hammer, and then you light them on fire and hit them with the hammer while they're burning. There are just so many things you can do with those rolls of caps, and all of them are dangerous. I was just telling my kids about caps with hammers. Those cap guns are the best. I mean, the ones that come with the little 8-shot, the ring, the plastic ring, those were okay. And I think they were even a little bit louder than some of the paper roll caps. But, man, the paper rolls were the best. Last I heard, she's still in critical condition. She's still talking. They've had conversations with her. The police have done some interviews with her. They want to do some more. But I think she's, I thought she was out of critical. Let me check. Do a quick Google here. She's in stable condition as of January 7th, they say. This is from Washington Post. Newport News, Virginia. The teacher who authorities say was shot by a 6-year-old boy at an elementary school here in southeastern Virginia was in serious but stable condition Saturday, according to a spokesman. So it's not good news, but it's better than not being in good shape. Let's see. Recovery addict. Yes, just adjourned 3-year-old 2 weeks prior to being shot in the face. Oh my goodness, Amber, that is crazy. Mrs. R.A. just walked into the room, and do you have anything to say? Do you want to talk at all? Okay, she has something to say. Hang on one second.
No, I don't want to talk tech. I was just curious if you could talk tech, because there's nothing really big going on right now in court cases, and I just thought you've got all these buttons and stuff, and maybe you could do a quick training because I don't know how to use them.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. R.A. I didn't see. I've missed so many comments today, and I know I'm sorry about that. Somebody is asking for tech. Because I could. Oh, just Mrs. R.A. wants to learn how to use all the buttons. I could just hand you the buttons. You could start pushing them and see what happens. And I'll say, no, don't do that. And we can go back and fix it. But so many of you, it warms my heart to see so many of you have used these cap guns and misused the caps. Let's see. Vixen, I know I sort of cut you off there at the end. My heart goes out to you. That's that situation. I don't even know what that would be like, having not been there. If you have some insight regarding from your perspective about this, feel free to share that. That's how old was the person who shot? Was it your sister? You said that shot, was it accidental? I've got a lot of questions. Obviously, you don't need to share anything you don't want to, but let us know if you are. Sibling rivalry on a whole new level, says T-Rocks for sure. Looks like Weatherwatch just gifted somebody a free membership. Let me see who that was. Thank you, Weatherwatch, for that. And it's Golden Girl. Congratulations, Golden Girl. And thank you very much, Weatherwatch. You're an amazing, amazing gentleman. Appreciate your support of the channel. Hi, Mrs. R.A. Mrs. R.A. is a flashy rainbow button enthusiast, so love it. Yes, I have all the buttons here, and I will teach her how to use them if she wants to do this. I'm a big fan of that. Jim Bob, you're the one who said ChatGPT. It's an algorithm machine learning program that right now is totally free, just overloaded with traffic. It's great for dialogue, so writing stories and reciting information. It can also do programs, and it can also write your college papers for you and do it in a way that will pass inspection by plagiarism checkers. We're literally at the time where computers will now do your homework for you, and you can get away with it. That's where we're at. No one has an excuse to fail a class ever again because of this. Let's see. Oh my goodness, Vixen, you'll appreciate the caliber of the weapon. I was shot with a .357 hollow point at point blank range in the face. Imagine a 3-year-old skull. Amber, it is amazing that you're alive. A .357 is a large caliber handgun, okay, and it has a massive charge behind it as well. It's extremely powerful. Oh my goodness! Wow, I am glad you're with us still. Happy to share anytime about anything. My sister was 8; she turned 9 a few months later. Accidental, just found to the gun type thing. That is crazy. Let's see. Tag says you don't need those. Teachers normally give you the answers if you pay attention. That's what I was doing wrong, Tag. I had to pay attention, but I did not do that part. Live emergency small plane landing near I-355. What state is that in, Sharon? Did it land near the road or on the road? Let's see. Small plane makes emergency landing in Bolingbrook. This was 25 minutes ago from ABC. Let me see if I can pull this up. Do we have any video? Oh, we do have a little bit of video here. Let's bring this over here. Go full screen here. So this is what you're mentioning here, Sharon. A small plane landing near I-35. It looks like it landed successfully on the road, and then was able to pull off the road. The things I'm noticing about this, first of all, the plane propeller is not broken or bent or damaged, which means it didn't endo nose first. It probably landed properly and just drove off the road. Probably either lost power, loss of engine, or had a fuel problem mid-flight. Doesn't look like he even clipped the light pole right there. You see that light pole? He sort of pulled between that and the little flasher marker on the side of the road. So the plane could probably take off again if it were allowed. He even managed to pull it off the road to clear up traffic. That is the best possible outcome. Obviously, when you're landing a small plane like that, the biggest problem when you're on the freeway like that is finding an open space that's wide enough, that doesn't have all these light poles, that doesn't have something. Oh, there's got a tow truck here if needed. They may have to take the wings off this plane, which actually you can do. You can take the wings off and load the main body of the plane onto a semi, and then load the wings separately. Because I don't think they'll let him take off from that road. It's just it's not safe to do that. But looks like everyone made it to the ground safely, which is good. I wonder how many people were on board. 357 is a hand cannon. Yes, that's a serious gun. Let's see. What'd you say? Checking the engine. Yeah. Everything looks good. All aboard. Ready to take off. We're ready to go. I wonder. I'm pretty sure there's some rules against taking off on a freeway or something like that. There has to be a runway or an area that's safe for that. But the problem with the planes, they land, their landing speed is right around 100 miles an hour, right? That's how fast they're moving as they're dropping out of the sky. You slow down beyond that and they just fall like a rock. So their landing speed is pretty fast compared to the traffic. So even if there's a gap in traffic when you land, you're coming up on the tail of people ahead of you. But it looks like I don't see any impacts or damage anywhere. It looks like the tires are in good shape. Wonder if that's the pilot. Just getting his stuff out of there. I'm here. Let's go golfing. I don't know why I'm not getting any audio on that feed. It might just be a helicopter feed that doesn't have that. Yeah, that's going to be expensive though. Getting that plane back to an airport is not going to be cheap. Thanks for giving me the link on that, or pointing me to that information. Glad everyone's on the ground safely. Let's see. Let's see who else we have here. Writing people's papers for them when I was in college was my job, says MB.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Well, now your job's been turned over to a robot. Mrs. Aria is pushing my buttons. Yeah, she does that. I had a friend in Bolingbrook. That's where the airplane was, right? If Darrell Brooks had been the pilot, he could have been waved and yelled, "Get out of my way!" Yeah, and honked multiple times, right? Is that the same size plane that JFK Jr. died in? It was a small plane. I think that's probably a 4-passenger, possibly a 6, but I'd say 2 to 4 passenger plane. Hey, Mom, sorry I'm late flying home. Got caught in some traffic. Owned by WeatherWatch has looked up the tail number. Thank you very much for that, WeatherWatch. Owned by Oliver Coolidge out of Denver, Colorado. Was going from Middleton Municipal to Brookridge Air Park.
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
Was in the air for 47 minutes. We could probably pull up the flight radar as well and see if we could see the flight path he took. Let's see, where is flight radar? Let me see if I can pull up on the screen the tail number one more time. Suzanne, we'll catch you later. Thanks for being here. Can he just drive it to the nearest airport? He could, but those wings are really wide. It's hard to navigate regular roads. will depend on the reason it was forced to land. Generally, if it's an emergency, you're allowed to land anywhere you can. So be it somebody's private field, whatever. You have to do what you have to do to get on the ground, and try to do it as safely as possible. So, can you tell us a story about ice fishing, says AJ? Not one with Mrs. Not Mrs. R.A. says they're boring. Hang on. Did Live on Patrol just came on. Mr. R.A. says, I'll tell him a story about you ice fishing. I love ice fishing. You drill a hole in the ice and you fish. And what's not to love? I've caught some big fish ice fishing, and sometimes I get really cold and sometimes I don't. Tell us how you two met. It was not ice fishing. We met in the town I grew up in. She had moved down to work, and we met, and I came up with a really lame excuse to call her, and it worked, and scheduled a date, and then I was really late on the date, and she still agreed to date me after that. That's pretty much it. He saw a jar of pickles. That's how it started. No. This chat is nuts. So many smart folks. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. No, Samantha Terry, this is great. All of us have strengths in different areas, and we put us all together. We just make an amazing group. You want to tell my story? Okay, so now here I'm in trouble because Mrs. R.A. is willing to tell a story, and I don't know what she's going to tell. Are you going to be on camera to tell it? No. Okay, she's just going to take the mic. So here goes. If you get in trouble, if I get in trouble.
Okay, I'm outing R.A. here. I'm going to let you guys know what it was like when I was dating him. I don't remember how long we had been dating, but he said, hey, I have this idea, we should go ice fishing. And we had not been dating long enough for him to be secure in the relationship, but he was clearly very secure. So he takes me up to this frozen lake or reservoir, I don't know, and we go out there and it's freezing. I'm so cold. I'm seeing all these people drilling holes into the water and just leaving them there so that the next person who walks by can take a quick little bath. And I'm like, this is a terrible idea. But we get out there and we're out there on this frozen ice, and Scott starts fishing and I'm bored. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? And he looked at me like, oh my gosh, you're still here? And then I was like, okay, what are we going to do like this whole time? And I just kind of asked him, I said, what do you do while you are fishing? He goes, well, I think. I was like, okay, well, what do you think? What do you think about? And he said, I think quiet thoughts. And that was the end. And we said nothing more for the rest of the date. And he has not planned a date since then. I was like, okay, you lost that privilege.
I've not planned an ice fishing date since then. I will say that, make that clearly. I did say that I think quiet thoughts. You can't talk during fishing. It'll scare the fish away. Sunshine, sunflowers. You understand. I will say that entire story took place within the span of about 3 minutes, because it seemed like we were just there and she was done. So that was the last time we went ice fishing. She's amazing though. She's right about so many things. Generally, that I'm lucky to have her. That's what it is. Bella says, I'm bored. Shh, we think quiet thoughts right now. Men always downplay the meeting stories. We did not meet ice fishing. We met earlier than that. But I was 3 hours late to our first date. And somebody in chat, I was with somebody in chat before meeting my wife. Not as date-wise, but a friend of mine. We were out deer hunting at the time. Let's see. You're such a player. Best catch was Mrs. R.A. That really, seriously, as far as fishing goes, I really lucked out. Alexa says, I feel her pain. My husband is a fishing fanatic. I get bored with about 5 minutes, and that's being generous. Fishing is a quiet activity. You'll scare the fish away. See, bite me. I'm on board with that. It's like maybe they don't hear you, but you don't want to move around a lot. Yeah, I do love her. She is amazing. Unless you're in a warm cabin with tip-ups, you can see out the window. Bella, I wish. I never lived in a place that got cold enough that you would want to build a cabin on the ice. The ice season was short enough that it was just too much work to put something out there. Plus, it's not really legal here as well. What's up with the Jensen trial, Recovery Addicts, says Golden Mom? Jensen's the Antifreeze case, when it should be starting here soon. We had pre-trial stuff just the other day. They should be seating a jury, right? I just haven't seen anything live yet, but that should be coming very soon, like possibly this week. She's a great cat. You're both awesome and great voices. Thank you, Bella. I appreciate that. She's amazing. Could have been worse. Could have binged Ice Road Truckers. Yeah, she would not sit through that with me, I don't think. You guys have some funny comments. All right. My idea of a hot date is having my laundry folded for me and dinner cooked. Let's see, Amber, you just sent me something on the burner phone. Let me check here. Let's see. Oh, yes, I got something from Pauline, too. Pauline asked for this.
Squirrel!
Yep. Just for tag. Let's see. Okay, Amber, we'll have to talk. I don't know how best to set that up, Amber. But I would be very interested in your vantage point with the experience you've had. Any of you guys see the video of the guy ice fishing in the tent where the friends get on a snowmobile and drags him away? Yes, I saw that. And he's like, "Hey!" That happens. A lot of people they drag their tent or their shack out behind the snowmobile and they forgot to disconnect it. Opening arguments tomorrow in Antifreeze trial per Court TV. I'm hoping more than Court TV airs this, Sunny Florida Mom. I want to have more than just Court TV. If we have to take that, we can. It just makes me work a little bit harder. But we'll do that. We'll have to have interruptions more often and analysis because they're a little more controlling with their video and what they consider fair use. Ed says, "Can you set a timer on how often a single person can post a sound effect?" Yes, I can, Ed, and I do. And I may make it longer depending on how often it is. So
Squirrel!
So Tag can't play that constantly. Right now, Tag, it's not set up. But soon we'll have it. We'll chat offline. Yeah, I'll reach out to you. Probably over the burner phone. Madison, Wisconsin, please, says Allison Oskin. Dane County. This is for a live court feed. We did our Whiplash session already. Let me check and see if they have something going on. Madison, Wisconsin, Dane County. Oh, so that's Wisconsin. That's going to be on the other system. Let's see. Okay. You said Dane County. Is there a specific branch? Because I show like 16 different branches there, Allison. I guess branch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we got a spam risk call. Should we take it together? Hang on one second. Hello. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Nobody was there. Okay. It's okay if you're an hour behind. Not a problem.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Let's see. In the here's an update for Mark Jensen. Was it who was asking about that? Sunny Florida Mom. The In Wisconsin versus March Jensen, this is from Kathy Russin on Twitter. Each side is using their final strikes. Jury will be seated soon. So that's crazy. Did you guys follow what happened to the young thug trials? They're trying to get jurors seated. There are all sorts of people, and every argument you could think of for getting out of jury duties is being used down there. I'm a doctor. If I sit on the jury, I'll lose $300,000. Interesting stuff. And another one's like, I'm a professional athlete, and if I sit on a jury, I'll miss out tryouts and I'll miss the Olympics. And I wonder if these are ideas that Matthew Harris would endorse for getting out of jury duty. I love the Frasier episode when they go ice fishing. The only ice I like is when it's cubed and in my tall drink, says Sunny Florida Mom. There was an ice fisherman around here that found a car and managed to solve a cold case from 30 years ago. That's amazing. Did he hook it? Tag, we'll get Squirrel set up for you. I have to fix the audio because in the background it has like a thunk sound. So let's listen carefully.
Squirrel! Squirrel! Squirrel!
You hear that little bump. I'm going to try to get that out of there and fix it up, and we'll get it working. So you'll get your squirrel sound effect after all. I get the car warranty ones all the time. I've never owned a car. I mean, it's like they're not even trying anymore. Yeah, they throw everything at the wall, and anything that sticks, they'll take it. Search for a Houston shooter, man who gunned down Takira robber. Okay, so yeah, Bitfinex, they haven't found him, right? The police say they'd like to talk to him about it. Not that he's going to be charged with anything, but I think he might be, possibly desecration of a corpse for those last couple shots. But I think the first few shots did the job, so to speak. The thunk is good. You want the thug in? You want the thunk in there?
Squirrel!
Okay, we might keep it. If you like it that way, I'll just go ahead and I'll set the level to be a little lower because I don't want it to be too loud. But we'll have it set up here for tomorrow. It could get annoying. It'll be a little quieter, and it's short. And I'll set a timer so it won't go too often. The Houston Chronicle article for the man who gunned down the Takira robber. I've watched that full video, the unedited video of that shooting. And yeah, I think the first 3 or 4 shots were completely justified. But the last 3 or 4, definitely the last one, I would have a hard time with. I just, when a suspect's down on the ground, face down, arms spread out type thing, even if there's a gun there, that's almost execution style. So, his attorney turned himself in, or his attorney contacted them. Now he's ID'd to the police only. I wonder if they're going to press any charges. I wonder if they won't. It's Texas, so it could go either way. Tag tested, tag approved. She likes the squirrel sound, so we're going to go with it. I had one call me the other day, says Courtney, trying to sell me a burial plot. I told him I'd call back after my death, and he said, okay, we look forward to your call. Yeah, just wait till I die, and then I'll call you. That's funny. I got the guys a long time. There was the state I was in was doing like a government grant for solar panels on your roof, and so I was getting calls all the time to put solar panels on the roof, and I got a little sick of it. So I'd get a little smart aleck with them. I'm like, I have lunar panels on my roof. That's what I tell them. And they're like, lunar panels? I'm like, yeah, they're like solar panels, but they charge at night by light of the moon. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, they're really good, because that way, I can just use the power during the daytime when I need it, and at night it recharges. These guys were just buying it up. I'm just like, I'd never heard of lunar panels. I'll have to look that up. It's like, good luck, because there's nothing out there because they don't exist. The moon doesn't have light. It's reflected from the sun. He thinks you're dying to give him your business. How do I make, let's see, Josh says, how do I make and prompt sounds on chat? Josh, great question. Right now we only have 3. We might have a couple more. I'm trying to be very thoughtful about what I release on chat. And if it gets used too much, I probably will take it away. Because I don't want it to distract from the things that we want to watch when we're watching a court case, when something's going on that, oops, that was a little police chase video from BK. I don't want the audio to distract away from the channel and things we're watching. So I'll be careful with that as we bring them on. But you can do the exclamation point commands in chat, and it will pull up a list of all the commands that are there. And some of them trigger text responses, and some of them trigger audio responses. And since you're a member, you can also do exclamation point seat in chat, and that will let you move up to the front of the room to get a front row seat for whatever we're doing, and you'll just have a much better view from there. It'll be good. You can receive, Little Miss says, they can receive landline calls and text messages from cell phones. This is a statewide issue and restoration time is not available. Lines. What was the first part of this, Little Miss? What are you talking about here? Here it is. Oh no, I just got a message on my phone. 911 is not able to receive cell phone calls. 911 is not able to receive calls from cell phones at this time. This is just in your county, so this is like a reverse 911 call where they're notifying you of that. It's a statewide issue and restoration time is not available. What state are you in, Little Miss, if you're okay with telling? See you, Bite Me. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Sorry I ignored you earlier. It was not intentional. Lindsay, I never get notified about this live. I'm sorry, Lindsay. You're here now, and I promise to keep the replay up, if that helps any. Your lunar panels reminds me of when we'd tell newbies at my job to get the cable stretcher. It's like blinker fluid. There's a couple things you can do that way. See you, Bite Me. We'll catch you tomorrow. Norma, Little Miss Norma says, recovery addict slacked in sending notifications. I've already reprimanded him. I said at the very beginning when I sent a message to Vixen, I said, hey, I need you to put this chat in Discord or Little Miss will chide me. And now I'm getting chided. I'm sorry, I'll do better. So that's Michigan, where the 911 calls, according to Little Miss, are not able to receive calls from cell phones, which is probably the majority of 911 calls they get are from cell phones. I mean, how many of you still have a landline phone, a true landline phone? I'd be surprised if it was any more than like 75%. So many people have a cell phone only, or just have a VoIP phone, and just everything's over the internet or mobile. Asking for striped paint, Alexis. What are you asking for? Asking me? Follow up with that. If you're asking for something, let me know. I might be able to do it. Kay, that's correct. That's how you do it. When you say commands, it should give this message. The only three that have words attached to them right now are these ones right here. And all three are related to the Daryl Brooks case. We're going to have squirrel on there shortly, maybe later today. They only work while we're live. So if you're in the room before we go live, they won't work until I actually start the live stream. But I also this morning, I said this morning, I'll say it again. Apparently there's some scammers that are getting in the chat that are replying to your comments on the videos and trying to get you to connect on a Telegram call to someone. That is a scam. If you see somebody saying they're going to reach out you with a Telegram number directly or something, don't do it. They're trying to steal your money, and they're not me. Even if they're using my picture, it's not going to say recovery addict by them, and we don't use Telegram. I've never been so intrigued by a case like BK since the Jodi Arias case, says Myra. Do you follow that trial coverage? It was so interesting, and the prosecutor was amazing. Yes, did follow that. Not live. That was well before my time here on YouTube, but interesting case. It's free for all in Michigan now. Now is the time to commit a crime because no one can call 911. Is that what you're saying, DMB? Vixen has a landline. Anna says landline only. I'm old-fashioned.
There's a lawsuit.
that worked. No, you ask if they have striped paint. Alexis, I don't remember asking that, but I have the memory of a goldfish. It was orange and it was swimming in the bowl. They found bloody trash bags, a hatchet, a hacksaw. Oh my goodness. Okay, it just sunk in what this means. A rug and used cleaning supplies in Peabody Transfer Station. that means that they're not looking for a body; they're looking for body parts. In that case of the missing mom. Can you imagine how difficult it would be to talk to a 911 operator over text messages as they're trying to get information, and the spell check and all the other typos and everything else and the abbreviations? And Sunshine Sunflower says, I've not had a landline in 10 plus years. We did have our landline number ported to a cell phone, but it literally didn't ring for 2 years. So for $15 a month, we decided it wasn't worth it. We might have to tune into some police scanner from, where is it? You said it was Michigan? I'm forgetting already, Little Miss, where this was from. Michigan, okay, is Michigan. Let me see if there's any police scanner activity up there that might be interesting. Okay, United States, Michigan. What county do you want to go with in Michigan that would be most crime filled? A couple of you still have landline phones, and a couple of you are getting notifications from YouTube. Yeah, don't complain on the Globe. If the notifications are coming in, don't touch anything. It's working. Let's see. I am squirrel brained completely. On command, Mrs. R.A. stories, that would not be good. That would not be good for me. Like you said, if you ask someone to find something that doesn't exist, you ask the people at Home Depot if they have cans of striped paint. Okay, so you had to explain it to me. That's what you ask someone. I need striped paint. Now I get it. It's not nearly as funny when you have to spell out the punchline, but that is my fault. I wonder how many times they get asked that. Wayne County is in Detroit. Is Detroit. So let's look at Wayne here really quickly and see what's up there. It's got Dearborn, Detroit Police
Are we
Dispatch.
going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Okay, give me a second here. Let me connect over here. Forget the device. Cancel. Okay. I think we're connected here. Just one second. It's not liking the connection for some reason. Okay, we're going to see if we can get some audio from the police up there in Detroit. Advice for chat: if you can remember your old landline number, use that for store perks and the like. You guys are all entertained watching me miss the joke completely. That the softball joke that I had actually started with, and then I missed the punchline. Yeah, so that's what happened. Now we're connected. Let's see if we have audio here. Waiting for an ad to play as the cars race by my house again. My dad had a car phone. We could never use it because it was like $2 a minute. That's expensive. That was way back in the day. Come on.
Good copy. 1649.
There's a game going in the background. It's playing sounds. There we go.
Situation is handled. I updated my admin office. I have to go to Southfield Pumps because I got 20 miles to empty, man. Will you show me where to pull to Southfield?
That's a copy.
20 miles till empty. He needs to go fill up his car.
Am I saying you with the NAR on your DSL.
Yeah.
Have a landline via VoIP. I've got that as well. VoIP is voice over IP. It means your phone line is actually your internet connection. Phone booths are all gone.
I don't consent to that now.
Just try to find one. There's one phone booth actually not far from me. That's not actually in use.
You put me out at 19511 West Chicago on a follow-up.
This phone booth actually has a mannequin of Superman in it, which is pretty funny. Payphones on planes. That was a blast to call somebody like, I'm on a plane right now. Don't have anything to say, but I'm on a plane.
You showed me on traffic at Lobster 7 miles. Going to be a silver Chevy Equinox, occupied one time.
Silver Chevy Equinox on 7 Mile, occupied one time. That's one person in the vehicle. Weather Watch, we appreciate you, and you didn't break the camera this morning, so I think you're good.
Well, at 1631.
Courtney found a working payphone at a rest stop. Any spam calls I get, I tell them the phone number changed and give them the payphone's number. Back in the day, you know, when a payphone would ring, it was just, you go over, everyone answers it.
In the middle of the street.
Who's in the middle of the street? Somebody in Michigan, in Wayne County, is in the middle of the street.
Yeah, can you place this address on special attention for the remainder of the shift and next shift for fear of return, trespassing, and assault?
14, sir.
The last phone booth in my town was painted blue to look like a TARDIS. Oops. I'm sorry, I've got my notifications on. Tag just sent me something.
An available unit for Grace Hospital. A5. A5's gonna make that. Thank you. At 1632.
Okay, I'm not hearing a lot of action out of there right now. Maybe tonight, if the cell phones still are not able to call 911, it'll be crazy. Let's skip car chases today and get wild and watch tractor chases. Is that what the link was you sent me? Tag, let me take a quick look here.
Field pumps too, please.
At 1632.
Or not?
Weather Watch.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
1 minute out.
You guys want to see a Weather Watch picture? I'm going to share this without his permission. Is that okay? I think he'd be good with it.
19939 out. Sorry, 96. Go ahead.
This is a picture from Weather Watch. Says, oops, actually I need to switch this over so it'll work. Connect, there we go. He says, in his text, he says, I was fishing for, let's see, go back here. I was fishing for largemouth when I hooked into this guy. That looks like either a striped bass or a wiper. Is that a wiper? Is it a cross between a striped and a white bass? That's a nice fish. And if that's what it is, they fight like crazy, like unbelievably. They're amazing. Great catch there. Never mind tractor chases. Have you ever seen a combine demolition derby? I didn't know these existed. How about a lawnmower race? Let me kill the unpair. There we go. I've heard of lawnmower races, but a combine demolition derby, those are crazy. It was a striper. Awesome. They fight like crazy. I've caught a few of those from a kayak, and it just about flipped me. It was a unique experience. I love them. That was a good catch. Fish on. Oh, cute. He looks like you. How cute. He looks like you, Weather Watch, says Tag. Look at that. Zing. My family builds racing lawnmowers, and where we race, they have combine derbies. Combines are super expensive. I mean, you actually just crash them? Or is it like a shell of a combine with, they replace the motor type thing? Because we do have lawnmower races here in North Carolina as well. There's some places where you can do that. I told my kids I used to have a phone with a cord back in the day. They couldn't wrap their mind around that concept. And better yet, it used to wrap the cord around your finger, right? As you're talking on the phone, because you had to stay next to the phone, and you would stretch it out, and it would get like all stretched out and on the floor. You'd have the really long cord where you could like walk anywhere in the house with the phone. We should still have phone booths. What about over in England? Are they still have phone booths over there? Because those are iconic. I haven't been there in quite a few years. When I was there, they had them. Of course, you don't want to go inside one because all the little business cards in there are all naughty, so you don't want to be there. I was so bored earlier that I was watching Flight 24. Seriously, still monitoring just a little bit out of that plane wreck. Just whoops, not that one. Sorry. Let's do this one here. This is where the plane is still on the side of the road. Looks like they're getting set. As you hear the audio from BK being pulled over in Indiana in the background. Wonder if they're going to be moving it here tonight or set up barriers around it, move it in the morning when there's a little less traffic, because they do have rush hours coming up, but everybody wants to see. I want to see the video because somebody's got to have dash camera or cell phone footage of the plane coming into land over the freeway. Hopefully it's a nice clean landing and a good view, but that would be fun to see. Yeah. We have combination demolition derbies here in Banks, Oregon, outside of Portland. I'll tell you, Josh, I used to participate as a cameraman in what's called a figure eight derby, where the cars race in a figure eight. And as if that's not bad enough, because you do have an intersection where they cross each other in the middle. They also made them a train car derby. So the front car has the engine and no brakes. The middle car is just a shell that's chained to the middle. And the back car has brakes and no engine. And there's no communication. You have someone in the driver's seat and someone in the brake seat, but they can't communicate with each other. They don't have radios. And then they race in a figure eight pattern. So I was a cameraman for one of the crews that did this. They offered to let me be in the car as a brakeman, but I politely declined that offer because I had seen exactly what happened on video. We've raced in North Carolina, actually, Recover Addicts, in Lumberton, and they are real combines. It really surprised me how expensive they are. They're like racing combines. You'd think that you could just program in the newer combines, the GPS coordinates of the racetrack, and it would calculate the most efficient pattern to race in and just do it itself. The technology's come so far. I want a phone booth like Bill and Ted. Totally, man. I believe some of the red phone booths were turned into defib stations to restart people's hearts in emergency. That is pretty cool. And that is, yeah, AJ says that is awesome. It is flipping awesome. Nice one, Weather Fisher, about the fish. Red phone booths in London should be turned into USB charging stations. Sharon says, here in the UK, our old payphones used to have a beep, beep, beep sound going in when your money was running out. So everyone used to talk faster before we got cut off and called them the pips. So you got the warning that it was beeping. In the UK, for those that are in the UK, I've got the question. When I was there, you had to pay, if you have a phone installed, say like just through the phone company in your home, if any call you make, local, long distance, whatever, you have to pay for every single call, like per minute. Is it still that way? Or is there now like free local calls or free calls altogether? You just pay for a flat rate. The idea of AED and phone booths is awesome. Georgia, good to have you here. What is going on? We're just having a good time as we're waiting for court to really get started later on this week with the Antifreeze case. I think it's going to be the first one we follow. Hey again, High Speed Drifter. Welcome. It's my favorite live in the weeks. Reminds me of the old days, getting to chat and make each other laugh. Yeah, this is almost like a recovery weekend type show today with not much court to follow, where we just jump around. Recovery Addicts. I get free nights and weekends with families and friends on my Motorola Razr. Free nights and weekends. I remember those. I pay for an unlimited plan on my phone. I have unlimited data, unlimited calls. I've had it that way since a long time ago. I needed it for work because I was on call and I'd get called all the time and sometimes have to be on for hours on troubleshooting calls. So, is anyone a recovering AOL chatter? Can you recover from that, or is that terminal? Asking for a friend. One-eyed, one-horned, they fly too. And are they purple people eaters, though? That's what we need to know. All right. Todd and Julie scheduled to report to federal prison this weekend, I believe. Todd and Julie. Why is the last name escaping me here? Todd and Julie. As they start their sentence here. The Chrisleys. They're sentenced to combined 19 years in prison for tax fraud. Reality TV stars Todd and Julie have been sentenced to spend a combined total of 19 years in prison after the Chrisley Knows Best couple were convicted of fraud and tax evasion in Atlanta. Yes, Chrisley's it is. So 19 years combined. That's a long time. Tax fraud. They don't joke around with that. They even got Martha Stewart on. Well, that was insider trading, but. Money crimes, they'll catch you. You used to be able to buy a cheap phone booth in the U.S. after the phone booths died out, but they're over $1,000 now. They're a nice conversation piece. Where would you put it in the house? Would you you'd have it in the kitchen where the phone goes and actually put a working phone in it? On Globe says, Recovery Addict, a thought. You should worry when I say that. How about a VR combine demolition game? I've got more. You've got mail. Is that how it went? You've got mail. Good movie, by the way. If you like chick flicks, right? Yes, in the UK you have to pay per minute on a landline phone, but you can get packages that include your minutes. I have a package that you can stay on the phone for as long as you like. Okay, Sharon. Next question: do you guys still have a TV license? Are you required to have a TV license to watch television? I believe when I was there, and this is all the way back in 96 to 98, a TV license was still required, and it's one of the only first world countries in the world that requires a TV license still, where you pay an annual fee, and they actually have what antifreeze case? Hang on, Monica. I'll answer that in just a second. I'll keep you on the screen until I answer it. But they actually have a truck that goes around. Yes, TV license required. The truck can detect if you're watching television in your house, and if you are and you don't have a license, you can be fined, and it's a significant fine. So, Monica, the antifreeze case is a retrial. Let's see. Let me pull up the actual names and details for you. Mark Jensen, antifreeze murder trial is Mark Jensen was actually found guilty of killing his wife with antifreeze. And she wrote a letter before she died and gave it to a friend and said, if I die under some weird circumstances, look at my husband. He's the one who did it. They used that evidence against him, that letter, in trial. He was found guilty and convicted, and then he appealed. And he said, under his appeal, he said, it's not right to have that evidence of her letter used against me because I can't cross-examine her as a witness, where I have the right to cross-examine witnesses. The appeals court agreed with him and said, okay, you get a new trial. You get to start over, and this time they don't get to use that letter. So he'll face the same charges again, and they'll try to get a conviction without that letter. So that's the antifreeze case. It starts tomorrow, I believe. Mark Jensen starts tomorrow. I know it's going to be on Court TV. We're going to try to follow it there. Hopefully we'll have some other feeds as well, because Court TV is not very fun. They're going to separate prisons somewhere in Florida, so they don't get to be like roommates in prison. I learn something new in this chat every day. We've got smart people in chat. I do not claim credit for anything. AJ says, y'all addicts remember when RA sang Happy Birthday is Marilyn? That was awesome. That will not happen again, I don't think. Sharon McDonald, yes, we still have to pay for a TV license, but if you don't watch TV, gaming or catch-up TV, you don't need a license for that. Oh, so not live TV. And that's because a lot of the TV programming is produced by government channels, I believe, like BBC and something like that. If it's not antifreeze, it's eye drops. I only drink fresh cans of Diet Pepsi. That keeps it safe, you know. As long as you know it's not been tampered with, you should be good. I have news for Abby UK when she gets back. I just got my 23andMe results, and I'm 75%.
Squirrel chipmunk.
Squirrel.
Tag, just for you. I'll play the sound effects. We'll get it set up, I promise. Thank you so much for your super chat. I miss court. Let's bring on tomorrow. Seriously, we've had a lull here for a little bit. Luckily, we had BK and some things to watch. BK is going to be back on Thursday. He's going to be in court with his hearing. It's going to be 8 a.m. Idaho time as far as Pacific Idaho time because they have 2 time zones. So we're going to be on at 9 a.m. and we'll stay live all the way for the 3 hours, I guess, until he goes live, and we'll follow it. So we'll be on all morning. We'll probably do some recaps for the people who haven't stayed up to date on the case as far as what's happened and what we know so far in the Idaho murder case. But we'll do that on Thursday, and then we'll also have the antifreeze case going at the same time. So we'll have some flipping back and forth. Prepare to yo-yo a little bit and get some whiplash. RA even had Maryland eyes going. That was so cool. I had Maryland eyes. What are Maryland eyes? How do they look? TV license is 159 pounds a year, even if you don't watch BBC. Yeah, I can't get over paying to receive radio waves that I'm being bombarded with anyway. Grit Grinder says, hey everyone, I'm late. What did I miss? Not much. We've just been having an easy kickback day. Sharing some stuff. We watched a little bit about a plane wreck. If you saw this, there was a plane that landed on the freeway on the side of the road. Looks like everyone got out safe, just fine. He just pulled off to the side of the road between the light poles, and nobody, no harm, no foul. Hopefully they can get it started back up and back to the airport. We did that. We did a little bit of a yo-yoing around in court cases around the country as we just popped into live court streams in Kansas, in Florida, we went to Illinois, I think. I forget all the places we went. We did a little bit of that, a little bit of catch up on the FOIA requests that I have in as I'm waiting to hear back from California and Florida. I spoke with Governor DeSantis' office this afternoon, right before we went live, just to see what my status of my request was regarding the letter that Sarah Boone wrote to the governor. And they say, yeah, we have your request. It's right here. It's in the line. There's just a lot of people in front of you for a bunch of other stuff. So, are the gift memberships random? DW, they're gifted intentionally by individuals, but who it goes to is random. So I think you have to make sure you've got the option to receive gifts in this channel turned on. And I don't know the best way to do that at this point, but that's what it is. Grit Grinder says, "Thanks for bringing me up to speed." Yeah, look how much time I saved you. We've been going live here for how long have we been on? Let me check. 2.5 hours, and you got all of that in about a minute and a half. So I saved you all that time. I'm glad I could do that. I'll hopefully be streaming this live chat in a few months on my flight overseas. Hopefully. That'd be awesome. Let's see. I can try my weather rock now that I get weather from you. What is a weather rock? Just when it's wet, you know it's raining. That's basically what it tells you, right? Oh man, Bella, your daughter has 6 inches of water around her house. Around in-house. Oh my goodness, it's in the house. Oh, it's awful. Man, So much water coming to Florida or to California right now. Had weather coconuts in Florida. Don't they float away? T-Rock says, you put me out of a job? Was that your job as a weather rock? Trina says, I have my own weather alert system. I have metal plates in my leg, and they let me know. A storm's coming, Annie. I feel it in my bones. That's a very poor Star Wars quote for those who suffered through that. Not your daughter's house. Okay, she sent the video of somebody doing that. That's better a little bit that it's not your daughter, but still the fact that somebody's going through that's rough. Even the rich neighborhoods in LA County are getting flooded. I wonder what this will do to property values. If there'll be a little reset. Hey, Recovery Addict, do the Emperor from Star Wars with your voice. What does he say? Give me a line, 80s Music Man, and I'll try it. It's really weird how joints ache when rain is coming. We have built-in weather sensors. That's what it is. Yep. But Weather Watch is better at advanced weather than I was. Luke. I can't do this one. Luke, I am your father. I can't do that one. That's Darth Vader. Unlimited power. Debbie should have been here 3 hours ago, but she's here. Congratulations, Debbie. Hope everything's going well. We're just trying to wrap up a little bit. We've just had a fun day talking about nothing. High Speed Drifter. I'm pretty sure that's not what the Emperor says. At least I have not seen that episode. I see what you're trying to do there, and it's not going to work on me. That's Darth, not the Emperor. Yes. I want him to do Chewbacca, Chewie. No, I can't do Chewie. It's due mostly to the change in air pressure ahead of the weather system. Temps attribute as well. Weather Watch is spewing truth here about how the weather is predicted. So much flooding, full cities and devastated. The videos are awful, Georgia. Yeah, I got your comment before you cleared it off. I think it probably posted before you're ready, but. RA Improv. That's where we're at the bottom of the barrel, which means it's probably time to play the music and wrap things up, right? All in favor, say aye.
In front of the Walmart.
That's the wrong button. There we go.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Too many things, Josh. We should probably do that. So tomorrow we've got the antifreeze case. My dad was a fisherman, but he quit because his net income wasn't enough. That's good. That's good, AJ. I like it. I approve. We do need the Walmart sound effect for sure. But I have to get the squirrel one, or else Tag is going to just jump through the burner phone and strangle me. Thank you for your jurisdiction sound bites. Have you heard? Look showed up on Maui last week. He found out Darth wasn't his father and sued the dark side for back child support. Luke sued Darth for child support. Yeah. Okay. That one wasn't as good, Tag. Hearing DB in my head saying the Obi-Wan voice, these aren't the grounds you're looking for. With the finger wave. These aren't the grounds you're looking for. Later, peeps. Sheepshead tomorrow. Good luck, TW and Sheepshead. We'll all be cheering you on from here. If you need more content, from than what this poor excuse for live stream has brought you, Matthew Harris has posted right here his feed to his YouTube channel. Please go click it a link. You can click it right now. I will not be offended if you click right now and go immediately over to his channel and watch just a handful of videos. Comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Do all the other bare minimum responsibilities that you should do over there. Sure appreciate Matthew here and being a lawyer in the chat, helping us through the legal definitions which we struggle with sometimes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the mods who kept things clean here. I know there was a little bit of work done early on there, and you guys were very efficient at it. Thank you. Not the outro music, really? Yeah, it's that time. It's that time. Good night till tomorrow, Golden Girl. Good to have you here. To all the members, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you're just here in chat, even if you're just lurking, and I know there are a few of you out there, even if you're just lurking, I'm glad you can be with us today. One day we'll get you in chat. JB up in Canada, good to have you here. Can't wait to hear you again on the burner phone. We'll talk again soon, I'm sure. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at somebody, make the day just a little bit better. Please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. where hopefully we'll have actual courts to follow. That'll be good, wouldn't it? Thanks, guys. Have a good day.